for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. indicts former Cuban leader Raul Castro and other top officials in the deadly 1996 downing of humanitarian planes. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche.
Nations and their leaders cannot be permitted to target Americans, kill them, and not face accountability.
The planes that were shot down were being operated by Brothers to the Rescue, founded by emigre Jose Basulto. He's asked by CBS's Christian Benavides.
How long have you been waiting for this moment?
About 30 years. It's something that it's justice at the end of the tunnel.
President Trump says he's ready to renew military strikes against Iran if that country's leaders don't reach a peace deal soon.
The president says it could happen any time.
Right on the borderline, believe me. If we don't get the right answers, it goes very quickly. We're all ready to go.
Speaking to reporters at Joint Base Andrews, Trump also said he could wait a little while.
If I can save war by waiting a couple of days, if I can save people being killed by waiting a couple of days, I think it's a great thing to do.
The president spoke as the U.S. military boarded an Iranian-flagged commercial oil tanker that was suspected of trying to violate the American blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Lindy Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
This Memorial Day weekend, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says there will be a slight relief in gas prices.
The national average at about $4.55 a gallon across the U.S. That is up about $0.015 from last week. But there may be some good news as we get into the holiday weekend. Oil prices are dropping today significantly, and that could lead the national average to see at least a modest decline.
The fire in California's Simi Valley area has grown to nearly 17,000 acres, but is now 15% contained, an improvement. This woman lives in the area.
The flames were raging. It was really scary. It looked like, the fires of hell, actually.
That's Israeli Cabinet Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who has sparked international outcry over the taunting of detained activists from a Gaza flotilla that Israel intercepted. The BBC's Amir Nader.
Foreign Minister Gideon Saar this evening, in which he was talking to a group of American lobbyists, and he said this is not a one-day operation. We will continue the campaign in the coming days.
Our copy editor is Kathleen Biggins. On the assignment desk is Gloria Chapa, and our desk associate is Jasmine Gonzalez. SpaceX reveals plans to sell shares to the public in what could be the biggest ever IPO. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
Coming up, an Amber Alerts issued in Mason County. Details after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, up in Everett, northbound I-5 is heavy from the Boeing Freeway up to Highway 2. South 5 is heavy briefly between Broadway just before the Boeing Freeway from an earlier collision. And then eastbound 526, we're still struggling approaching Evergreen Way over to I-5. Getting to Everett from Seattle, 45 minutes, not too bad. Bellevue to Everett, though, 55 minutes, and we've got building volumes between Kirkland and Canyon Park. Plan on a half hour to get through downtown on northbound I-5. Your scattered backups start near the Michigan curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 is heavy from Northeast 50th to basically I-90 now, closing in on a half hour from Linwood to Seattle. And Bellevue to Renton closing in on a half hour trip. It's bumper to bumper closer to Northeast 8th now, down to 112th. And then from there, you thin out, but you're not in the clear till you reach the S-curves. North 405 is starting to fill in between South Center and the Renton S-curves. This report brought to you by your KIRO Newsradio app. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Gornello. An Amber Alerts has been issued for a 4-year-old boy in Shelton. The State Patrol says the boy's father took him during a supervised visit today. They were last seen at around 12:30, the boy wearing a black Batman shirt. The father is 26-year-old Joshua Moen, driving a blue 2005 Honda Pilot. We have posted their photos on mynorthwest.com. Call 911 if you see them. FBI is warning Seattle area families about an AI-powered virtual kidnapping scam. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
The FBI says high-tech criminals are using AI voice cloning, altered photos, and manipulated proof-of-life videos gathered from social media to convince unsuspecting family members. And an immediate ransom payment is demanded. Here's FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Gerald Birkin.
These are very real, very believable, and very traumatic for the people that are involved.
Experts recommend coming up with a family code word, taking screenshots of any threats, and reporting suspected scams to the FBI's Internet Complaints website at ic3.gov. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Tiny house villages and shelters in Seattle will soon be able to add more beds. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery explains.
The plan allows shelters all across the city to go from 100 to 150 beds and to 250 at select sites. This is part of the race to open 1,000 new beds by the end of this year. Councilmember Bob Kettle.
I always say housing first, yes, if it's a photo finish with wraparound services, because we do need to have those wraparound services, and we should be encouraging those wraparound services, that encouraging the decision calculus towards treatment.
This is a temporary plan, so the council will refine it and hear public comment to make it permanent. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Today, a Seattle City Council committee took up the issue of data centers. KIRO 7 TV's Runji Sinha reports they're considering a one-year moratorium on approving those facilities.
Right now, the city doesn't even have a definition for these data centers as far as land use permitting and zoning. So the bottom line, Seattle considering this one-year moratorium on applications to build these data centers and solidify. They also want to solidify what the definition of them would be.
Now to your weather update. Looking at increasing sunshine this afternoon. Highs today in the upper 60s will reach the 70s for Thursday and Friday. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Heat waves, earthquakes.
Oh, good, yes. Well, there we go. It's coming your way, everybody. The John Curley Show. It's a good show. Although Joe has decided he's going to radicalize.
That's right.
When that's going to start to show up. Will you let us know when it goes like full bore and then it's like?
Oh, you'll know.
We shouldn't come to work that day.
There will be signs.
Wow, that's a tease.
Yeah, right in his face. You've been a stinker all day, as my mother would say.
Today?
Yeah, been extra prickly.
You know why?
Oh, here we go.
I finally slept last night.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Well, dive into the night. The John Curley Show in Montgomery Casino Resort. Text line at 1-888-973-5476. You're not gambling when you text us. It's going to be a straight flush of constructive criticism, and it's as far as the analysis you go.
Nice.
You're welcome. Stinker. Yes, that's right.
Why are so quiet?
Stinker.
There you
go.
That's
I guess I'm in a good mood because news in a good mood. I guess my hair looks like crap. Tomorrow I get to go to jury duty, and hopefully just like an hour and a half or something, and they can get out of there and have the day off. Or here's a question: let's say they dismiss me early because my hair doesn't look good or something. Do I get in the car and drive back and do the show?
Are you kidding? I just learned today that that's a paid day off.
Yeah, but I don't. It feels wrong. Besides,
Trust me,
the listeners of the John Curley Show want John Curley.
Yeah, but you can't do the thing where you request the day off and then day of decide, you know what, I'm coming in. Because Jacob schedules people to come in and work. They count on that time.
All right. Okay. How about Friday?
Yeah, that's fine. I won't be here, though.
Fine. Oh, okay. As a parent, has this ever happened to you? You get up, you go to work, you sit in traffic, you apply the effort, all the efforts you can possibly muster to the task or the job, do it well enough to maintain the position they've hired you for. You push through the afternoon, then you get that soul-crushing commute back home again. And then you remember, oh, God, I got to get some food. You stop off at the grocery store. You push the cart down the aisle. Pick up odds and ends. You try to find the price on that bacon, but you just forget it. You toss it, and it clinks against the side of the grocery cart. And then you go down to the aisle where they keep the peanut butter and jelly conveniently all in one place, and you stop in front of the jam. And you try to remember, was it bear or was it bee? Bee or bear? The type of jelly that your kid likes. Another shopper slowly kind of navigates their cart past you as you're standing there staring at the giant array of various strawberry jams. Now, remember, the alarm went off at 5:30 in the morning. You moved through your entire day. The traffic was just awful. And now you're stopped there dead in your tracks. You hesitate. Another shopper kind of apologizes and slightly moves your cart out of the way, but moving the cart sideways so the wheels don't quite cooperate and they make a weird sound. And then now the two carts are pushed together and you're still frozen staring at the array of various jellies. Bear or bee? Or is it bee or bear? I know my kid likes the... And for some reason, it feels like the most important decision of the day. And you're just staring at it. And you're like, then you realize, oh my God, they both have bears and bees on the jelly. And I don't remember which one. And I know I can't call and ask what's important and what jam or jelly was it. And then you think, God, I don't know, get the wrong one, but I don't want to get both of them. That feeling you're having is something that the Russians tried to stop in the 1920s. Go with me on this. The father of American education, a guy named John Dewey, felt that feeling could be replaced and the state of the society would be bettered for it. Dewey, who had a deep distrust of the nuclear family, for it was there that the child would be taught. And according to Dewey, the child was taught prejudice and bias. The parents' ignorance was passed on, religion that he saw as superstition. All of this was devoid of reason and logic. And the child's bond to the parent for love and caring and nutrition subjugated the child to a hierarchy that was the father was in charge, then the mother, and then the child. The structure that Dewey and his buddy Lenin, Stalin, and Trotsky all saw as detrimental to the advancement of the state. Now, Dewey wanted the child raised with reason and science and a democratic method. And the family raised the child with the tradition of love, particular identities. And those two projects were sort of fundamentally incompatible, according to Dewey, as he saw it. So you wanted to make the child dependent upon the state and not the parent, to allow the state to form the child to better serve society. That was just basically the idea. And in all fairness to John Dewey, at the time when he was sort of having these ideas and people were really celebrating John Dewey, America was... there was poor, desperately poor people. There were rich, and then there were all these various immigrants, and some of them couldn't read English. And he saw, well, there's divided America, and the best thing we can possibly do is to educate the full child, which means we got to kind of pull the kid out of the family. So Dewey would be all in favor of what's being done right now with the idea that the state of Washington should feed for free. They get that number for free. All the children. In fact, Dewey would be so much in favor of it, he would probably don a hairnet and want to scoop out steaming piles of green beans on trays of students that would quickly be thrown into the garbage. So what the governor of our state and his friends have, they want to feed all the kids, not just the kids whose parents can't afford it, but all kids. And the reason they say we want to do this is because if the kids are all fed by the state, because when a kid is fed by the state, then the kid feels shame. So here's the logic. Because being fed by the state is shameful, does the shame go away when all the children are fed by the state? You see, I thought being fed by the state causes shame. So should they all be equally feeling shame? I'm sure the collective genius of the elected officials there in Olympia could find a way to feed the children whose parents can't afford it without all the other children detecting and saving that child from embarrassment. Because it is love, it is respect, it is hard work, a wholly unique, impenetrable personal connection that can be found in a brown paper bag that's placed on a shelf in the back of a classroom that no other person in the world can replace because no other person in the world loves that child like his or her parent. There. I'm so much against this $150 million or whatever to feed all the kids. Let's just feed them all. Why? Why? Why you want to feed them all? And maybe I'm looking into it. Maybe it's like not as nefarious as the idea of what they wanted to do in Russia and what the Frankfurt School wanted to do in the 1920s, which was basically allow the state to raise the children because then the children are more compliant and then you're better forming the children to serve everybody and not just their own sort of family. I might be reading into it. Oh, you are. It's conspiracy and stuff. But why? Why should the state, which is us, feed kids whose parents can feed them?
Yeah.
Why?
How many of the kids that...
It's a quarter. Here's the numbers come up. So there's about 1.1 million kids are in the school system, right? They say, if you look at the numbers, it's probably a quarter of the 1 million whose family can't afford to feed the kid.
And we're all for feeding them, right?
Yes. Oh, listen. Yes, absolutely. The state should step in when the parent fails. But to say, and then I saw these parents, this is going to be so much easier for us. I got news for you. Being a parent sucks. Sucks. Totally, completely sucks. Sucks the life out of you. And if you do it easy, you create a really crappy human being for the rest of us to deal with. But if you actually step up and do the hard part, well, then it makes it easier for the rest of us because you create a good person. But if you just want to, it's just easier for me to have the state do it. You know what? You decided to have that kid. That was your choice. And if you can afford to feed that kid, get your ass out of bed and feed the kid. Because here's what the kid learns. The kid learns sacrifice. And also the other part of it is to take the negative out. The positive is this. Here's the kid. He's having a bad day. He opens a brown paper bag and there's a note from mom. Thinking of you. I hope you do well on the test. I put an extra treat in there because I knew you were having a bad day last night. That, in a way, that's the connection. Now, the state, will that note ever be will that feeling ever be transmitted from the state? Will that ever be felt? Oh, here's the lunch lady. Hey, looks like your pimples are clearing up. He's slapping down a bunch of stuff on the thing. No! Why is the state involved in feeding the kid? And I understand, certain kids are going to feel they're going to be made fun of. Good, find a way to make sure they're not made fun of. You can easily have everybody have the little card or whatever. That would be an easy way to do it. And everybody gets the same thing if you want. But the parent should pay. The parent should be some sacrifice. Because when something is free, do you think people value free? No. They don't value free. If you're in that line and you know that, the state paid, and they slap a bunch of stuff in there and then you just throw it all out. Now, I'm not saying kids don't throw out lunches the parents pack, but you are, in some way, hopefully you've got a human being that is got the semblance of some respect for the fact that their parents got up and went to work that day, made the money, came home, and then bought stuff with it, and then gave it to you so you could eat it. I mean, take the kid to work day and have the kid actually see whatever you do for a living and then go to the grocery store and then say, hey, listen, remember you saw me work today? I got this money and now I'm going to buy this chicken sandwich for you somewhere, some tuna fish. And then you feel guilty. I mean, I remember throwing out, I swore to my mother that I liked deviled ham. I don't know why. I think I liked the can it came in. And I just kept saying to her, I love deviled ham. She goes, I don't think you do. I said, my mom, please get deviled ham. Please get deviled ham. And she got it, like a big thing of it. And then she'd make me a sandwich. What?
What does that mean?
I don't even know what it is. I just know it had a can. It had like a little devil on it. It was deviled ham. Huh. And then she made the stuff for me. And I was like, that was so disgusting. But I was still like, I was insisting that I liked it. And I'd still like choke my way through the sandwich.
Why? I mean, if the reason you don't want to make the kids feel shame that are getting the school provided lunch, couldn't they just somehow like give a voucher or money to the parent to buy the food or to buy whatever they want to give the food?
You mean treat the parent not like a child? Because the state would be like, well, we can't give the money to the parent because then the parent would spend it on something else.
Well,
Uh-oh. So what do we do? Oh, well, let's use vouchers or something like that. They could come up with something. The kid could get sent something.
The kid could get an envelope every day when they walk into school. It could have cash in it if they still accept cash for food at schools. And they could buy it that way.
They won't do that. Everybody gets a card. Doesn't matter. They all get a card. The parents put the money on the card. And the parents can't afford to put the money on the card. The state puts the money in the card. But why we? Why I? Why anybody else, other than those that can't afford it, should pay? Why $159 million to feed kids? And what do you think will happen to the price? Think $159 million will turn into $172 million? You're damn right it will. Why? Because nobody's paying. No one, quote unquote, sees the bill. So it just keeps going up. If I were the company that had that food contract, who am I competing against? No one! Not mom and dad. They're not comparing the price of the ham and cheese to whatever's coming from that company. And then, then you make sure that you write a check to that person in the House or that Senate so that they make sure that your contract gets chosen so that you get a chance to provide the food for all the kids in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
What a mess. And the governor, this is unfair that I get it. If you're making $19 an hour, you don't have enough money, you don't qualify. Well, then just write it so that you qualify. If you're making $19 an hour and you're a single parent, then you fall through that crack and then take care of that problem. You don't need to feed. The state doesn't need to feed the child. You are breaking the sacred bond of the nurture of the mother and the father with the kid. And that's what they want. And people are like, oh, go ahead, text 1-888-973-5476 and say it. You're just making a big deal. You see, socialism and communism around every corner. You tell me why we have elected officials insisting that the state feed the child.
And just to reiterate,
yes,
you are.
I'm all. Give me some deviled ham right
now.
You
are all for feeding the kids.
Hold on, I'm going to cook deviled ham with that thing. Look clear. There we go.
You are all for feeding the kids whose parents cannot afford to.
Sure, why not?
100%.
Why not?
Okay. Here's a text that came in from Don the Amazing. He said, Hey, John.
Yes.
As an influencer of the masses and respected icon about town.
Who, John is? I am?
Yes.
That's not me.
Can I finish?
Man, my hair is really bugging me today. Go ahead.
Hey, John, as an influencer of the masses and respected icon about town, could you start referring to free lunches as taxpayer-funded meals?
Yes.
Or tax lunch?
Yes.
With the weight of an endorsement capable of electing a foot-and-mouth, business-killing Marxist as mayor, your use of this more accurate descriptor ensures it will catch on. Big fan of the show.
It's fabulous, Don.
Don the Amazing.
Don the Amazing. I said free, and I was doing the air quotes around it. There's nothing free. I never always say, don't ever say it's free. Yeah.
It's a tax lunch.
What? It's state provided, it's taxpayer provided money for kids whose parents can afford to feed their children.
That's too long. That's not going to catch on.
All right. I'm sure. Listen, I've heard other shows talk about they're all in favor, and I'm like, oh my God, I'd love to call into those shows.
I get it. I think you're right.
Yeah.
What do I know?
What do you know? You know a lot.
Really?
Come on now.
All right.
Here's Nate Check and Trap Nathan.
All right, KIRO Newsradio App has the update. 35 minutes to get through downtown on North 5. Scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. No surprises here. South 5, you're heavy from Lake City Way down to I-90. Seattle to Federal Way, a 35-minute commute. Usual backup here starting at Interurban Avenue. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. It is heavy from Mid-Bellevue all the way to the VMAC. Bellevue to Linwood, 35 minutes. You've got scattered backups in their building between Kirkland and Canyon Park. Seattle to Linwood, a half hour. Scattered backup starting at 145th there in Shoreline up into Mill Creek. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway. We're at 45 minutes, and it's real heavy south of State Route 18. Text the app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
That's right, the irreplaceable Nate Connors. Hey, I'll never say bumper to bumper, Nate.
Hey, thank you.
New Nate. My hip was bad, really bad, so bad I wasn't able to run for about 5 years, and I got to go get a hip replacement. And the doctor explained to me how it's going to work. Titanium thing goes in there, and then you'll have you up and walking in about an hour and a half, and then, there'll be some recovery. I said, well, what if will the pain? Well, we do a lot of these hip replacements. Wait, how old are you? And I told him, he said, well, we're going to wait a little bit because you're just a little too young. We don't want you to wear the hip out. I was like, oh, okay. How long do I have to wait for? Maybe 2 years or so. 2 years of pain? So I thought, well, I got to do something else. How about a stem cell procedure? Sure. So I start looking around. I find this guy, Dr. Mark Wagner. All these reviews. Everybody loves Dr. Wagner right there at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. The reason being is because he's been practicing medicine for 30 years. He's done 20,000 stem cell procedures. And I knew I was in right hands when I walked into his office and I saw all these jerseys of all these athletes. I said, if they're going to see Wagner, I'm going to see Wagner. So if you've got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, it's Dr. Mark Wagner. Only one to call. For stem cell, drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Who doesn't love fish? Fish is great. Fish is delicious. You know what isn't good? Fish passage projects, because they get in the way. 28-mile detours coming for some of our truck drivers who use Highway 3. 16 days of closures. I'll tell you all about it on Thursday on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof inspected. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we'll help it last as long as possible. Our trained and licensed crew will evaluate your roof, repairing when we can, and offering replacement options only when necessary. Plus, every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Oh, those spring showers after a wet winter, they can cause real trouble for groundwater, right? When the soil around your home finally becomes saturated this time of year, water can start making its way into your crawl space and you don't even know it. It's Mike Salkare, and groundwater in crawl spaces is even more common than you think. It needs to be addressed before it causes structural damage or even worse, toxic mold in your home. If you're worried that groundwater is making its way into your crawl space, you know what to do. Call Crawl Pros and get that free corner-to-corner inspection. Just just like they did at my house. They'll come in, they'll climb into that crawl space because Crawl Pros goes where you don't want to. And if they do find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system and a sump pump. They'll reroute all that water outside of your home's footprint where it belongs. So don't take the risk. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros. Have them come out for a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, damaged insulation, or water intrusion, call Crawl Pros at crawlpros.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. An update now on that Amber Alert issued in Shelton. The State Patrol says the vehicle involved in this abduction has been located. No other word about the 4-year-old boy. Investigators say he was taken by his 26-year-old father, Joshua Moen. They were last seen around 12:30 this afternoon. We have posted their photos on mynorthwest.com. Call 911 if you see them. Pierce County Sheriff's detectives say one of their own deputies is now charged with felony harassment with threats to kill. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
The charges come following a domestic violence-related incident reported by a family member back in December. Investigators spent weeks interviewing those involved before the case was sent to prosecutors earlier this month. The deputy, Edgar Ruiz, hired in 2022, was taken off patrol back in January and is now facing termination. The sheriff's office calls the alleged conduct unacceptable and says it will not be tolerated. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
If you own an electric vehicle, you could soon be paying more to drive it. A new bipartisan bill in Congress would add a $130 annual federal fee for EVs, $35 for plug-in hybrids. Washington Congressman Rick Larson is the ranking Democrat on the House Transportation Committee.
It's based on the user pay principle that if you use the roads, you pay into the trust fund in order to do repairs on the roads. That's what the gas tax is about. That's what this fee is about.
And this charge would come on top of the state registration fees for EVs. The House committee takes up the bill tomorrow. New rules on state ferries now allow dogs on deck. Justin Fujioka is with the ferry system. He says there will be indoor and outdoor pet areas, but animals must be on leash and well behaved.
Our crew members on board may ask pet owners to move their animal to an outdoor area or back to their vehicles. If there are safety concerns or if their pet is not behaving appropriately.
And cats and other animals have to be in carriers, he says. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
And this one brought to us by Home Comfort Alliance. Let's start you up in Everett, North 5. We've got heavy volumes at the Everett Mall up to Highway 2. Further north you go, the more this thins out. 10 minutes from Everett into Marysville. Bellevue to Everett, you just hit 1 hour. You've got scattered backups, actually starting in Bellevue all the way up into Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Scattered backups starting about 1:30th there, heading into Shoreline up into Mill Creek. 35 minutes gets you through downtown on northbound I-5 with scattered backups starting at the West Seattle Bridge. South 5, we're heavy at Lake City Way to I-90. It's about 25 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. A typical backup here. Bellevue to Renton, closing in on a half hour. Gets heavy there in mid-Bellevue, and that continues down to the VMAC. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're at 45 minutes. Heavy south of State Route 18. Considering a new Lennox cooling system before the summer heat wave? Get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And now to your forecast. Looking at sunny skies right now. More sunshine for the rest of this week. Low 70s the next few days. Right now, 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Okay, that's it. Home Comfort Alliance. There we go. All right, well, the Mariners are struggling. And golly, tickets are probably still available.
Game's going on right now. It's on right now.
Tickets are available, I'm sure, then. Yeah. Head on down. If you're sitting up near the top, sneak your way down like a filthy eel that you are and enjoy a seat a little closer. You ever done that?
Yes.
First of all, we talk about the Mariners struggling right now against the White Sox. Let's talk about your big game there you went to on Sunday. I reported that on Monday. Saturday you went to the game, and I reported on Sunday you vomited.
I went to the game on Sunday.
Sunday, right? Okay.
And it was 3 dads because our Mother's Day gift to all of our wives was a weekend away.
Oh, my.
And they all went to the San Juans, had a great time. So all the dads got together with the kids.
Yeah.
There were 10 total of us. Yeah, so 3 adults, 7 children. Oof. A lot of junk food.
Give us the ages. The age ratio. This is where it gets really brutal.
What was it? 2 4-year-olds. There was a 2 or 3-year-olds, 7, 8, and 9-year-olds. Yeah, that sounds about right. We were up in the 300 level.
The little 3-year-old, the 9-year-old, try to keep everybody equally entertained. Halfway, at what inning did you think, this is a bad idea?
Before first pitch. Okay. Yeah, for sure. When they were all downing cotton candy and, it was brutal. Yeah, I mean, hot dogs, cotton candy, pizza. I brought a bunch of, Dum-Dum lollipops. All the dads brought snacks, right?
Yes,
so we had kettle corn and regular popcorn and... The kids got ice cream and everything. And, of course, I had to try all of it as well.
Yes, you did.
My body did not take to that very well later at night. So I had to vomit.
Who do you think felt sicker? The women consuming large quantities of Pinot and Chardonnay or you eating your body weight in sugar and corn syrup?
I can confirm one of the other ladies also had to vomit. So... 2 casualties of the Mother's Day getaway.
How did you keep them entertained, by the way? You guys are sitting up near the top. You could see the curvature of the earth. You could explain, Christopher Columbus, and you could see the Panama Canal from here, kids. So you're way up there. Yeah. And do they even give a flying?
No, they don't. The one boy did. There was one boy and, 6 girls and 1 boy. He was the older one. He's the 9-year-old who plays Little League. So he was kind of into it.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him about the game, and they don't go to a lot of baseball games. So it was kind of fun to teach him how the scoreboard works and all the numbers and the data behind it all. So,
And at that point, did that kid throw himself off the top?
Yeah. The other girls, they could care less. So
I got it. Well, next year, you guys will have to come up with a different Mother's Day gift.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Mother's Day gift. And they could use some good love from Mom. The Mariners are really, it's not like when they're in a slump. The whole thing seems to be off. Mm-hmm. Everything seems to be not working. Remember, here was September, everything was working, right? And we would just come up against different, all of a sudden we'd figure out the other team. Second time we're playing the Tigers or second time we're taking on the Blue Jays. We're like, okay, we got this, right? Making a few adjustments. Every single button, every lever that seems to be pulled, just craps the bed.
Yeah, last night was sort of the culmination of that, it felt like, because of this whole piggyback situation that they tried. So Bryce Miller started the season hurt. He's one of our starting pitchers, and he's trying to get back into the swing of things. And he looked great last night.
Yeah.
But they were worried about his pitch count, and so the goal was to start Bryce Miller and then have Luis Castillo, who has been struggling, get his innings in as well, get his pitches in, and come in right after Bryce. So in a perfect world, Bryce starts the game, Luis closes the game. Didn't work out that way last night.
Well, how many did they want Bryce to throw?
I think at least 75.
Okay,
80,
right in
and he
there.
was right around that, right around that mark when they pulled him.
Okay,
and he was not pleased either when he got pulled, but because he was dealing, he'd given up 1 hit at that point. Any other situation, he is staying in that ball game. But because they already predetermined the strategy for the day, they pulled him.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
But they've done that before. I remember watching the pitch count, and I was watching the game with Rye, and he was like 63 or something, and Rye says they're going to pull him. I said, but he's doing great. And he goes, doesn't matter. Once he gets to 75, they got to save him for, 2 games out or something. I said, but he's still... if he starts failing, the ball starts walking a couple of people, well, that's a sign that you've got some problems with the arm. He goes, no, they just get into this thing. They just want to keep that number in place and then think, well, we're always thinking 2 games down the road or something. Is that the piggybacking? Is that what that is?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, this is a pretty unique situation. You don't see this a lot in professional baseball. You might see it like what Rye was talking about, if someone's injured and really coming back and they're really, really worried about his pitch count. But in this case, Miller looked great. I mean, he took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. He threw his fastest pitch, I think, of his career, like 99 point something in the 1st inning. So he was fine. And again, any other day, he is staying in that game. So whatever, you take him out, and honestly, it worked out. That's fine.
Okay.
But then you bring in Luis Castillo, who is a starter. He is not a reliever. And great in the 1st inning, a little shaky the next couple of innings. It's a 1-run game. It is a 1-run game, and you have an all-star closer in Andres Munoz, who has been struggling this year, mind you. But he is your closer.
Is this the way you talk to the 4-year-old girl?
Yes. He was captivated. She was just like, you have your closer, Andres Munoz, ready to go.
Right.
But Dan Wilson, again, choosing to throw Luis Castillo into the 9th inning. And they always say the last 3 outs in baseball, they are the toughest to get. It's just a different beast. The 9th inning is different. He struggled. He walked a guy, then hit a guy. And then, unfortunately, Dan Wilson tried to pull him, but he didn't understand the rules that you can't do back-to-back mound visits, and that was kind of embarrassing.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it didn't work out. I mean, it just didn't work out. And it blew up in their face. And
you
it's
feel
like,
bad for Dan going out there because somebody would be like, stop him, because he's heading out to the mound. Like somebody else would have known that. And he gets out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be here.
I know. It's sad.
Are you getting on the board? Are you now slowly getting on the train that's actually being constructed, which is
calling for Dan's head?
Yeah.
So I read the comments after all these games, and man, I don't remember a game where I've seen so many people call for Dan's removal, if you will. So
give Dan a chance to spend more time with his family and pursue other interests.
It's tough. Like it's becoming a pattern now, which is certainly an issue.
Where do you stand on it, Aaron?
Come on,
man. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say.
Okay, all right.
If they got rid of him, I wouldn't be upset.
Oh, okay.
It's tough because he's in the Mariners Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I love Dan Wilson.
And once they let go of Scott Service a couple of seasons ago, they didn't even do a hiring process. They just said, Dan's our guy. He's our manager. And that was it. He's a great guy. Super nice dude. In-game management, though, is not his strong suit.
Yeah.
That seems like an important thing for the manager.
I'm going to, we're all going to be replaced by AI at some point. So let me ask Claude. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Should the Mariners get rid of Dan Wilson?
Oh, God. Come on, Claude.
Okay. Hold on. You're supposed to be Claude or AI. You're supposed to know everything. You don't even know who Dan Wilson is?
Other side of the phone.
You're right. I should know this. Dan Wilson is the manager of the Seattle Mariners. Let me be honest, though. I'm not totally up to date on the current 2026 season dynamics or recent roster decisions. So I don't want to give you half-baked takes on whether...
Okay, why don't you just go lay off 7,000 people, all right? Never mind. Goodbye. Wow. That's AI?
Here's the good news.
Hey, some good news. Tickets still available.
Well, they're winning today, which is nice. 5-3 in the 8th.
All right, see that?
And, they got 110-odd some games.
Come on, that's a lot of cotton candy to eat.
You're right about that.
Winning solves everything. Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
Did they do the speed dating gimmick?
To look at Andrew. You see what Andrew said to you? You said, quick question. Look at the time.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at Andrew.
Already started.
No.
Well, if you'd let him answer, we'd be out of here.
What?
I don't think they did it at the game I was at, but I've seen that many times.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Here comes Dave checking traffic.
Seattle Sports has the update. 35 minutes to get through downtown on northbound I-5. You're scattered backup starting at the West Seattle Bridge. South 5 is packed from Lake City Way to I-90. Bellevue to Everett on 405 is a 1-hour trip, and you're slow starting at I-90 in Bellevue all the way into Alderwood. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on both bridge routes. Westbound 90 slows across the lake over to I-5. I-5. Westbound 520, bumper to bumper at Montlake over to I-5. Seattle to Federway, a 35-minute commute. We've got stop-and-go volumes from the Duwamish Curve to 516. Tacoma to Olympia doing okay at 40 minutes. And looking out toward Carnation, looks like we've got a new blocking issue, northbound 203, right at the Tolt River Bridge. There is about a mile and a half bumper-to-bumper backup starting near Northeast 8th Street. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I got a text message from somebody the other day. Said, hey, I called Closets by Design. And they came in and they did exactly what you said they were going to do. They customized for us. And I wasn't paying a gigantic price. I was like, look at that. There you go. And he goes, hey, if you want to come over and take a look at my closets, or maybe you can invite me over, I could take a look at your closets. I was like, I got a closet buddy. You can find out more about what Closets by Design can do for you without the big high price. 40% off plus additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. That's Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan. Presented by Carter Subaru.
Who doesn't love fish? Fish is great. Fish is delicious. You know what isn't good? Fish passage projects, because they get in the way. 28-mile detours coming for some of our truck drivers who use Highway 3. 16 days of closures. I'll tell you all about it on Thursday on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up. And for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. I'm working to lower costs, grow the middle class, keep us safe, and defend our freedom. I'm also here to help you with the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered over $16 million for taxpayers and look forward to helping you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Joe detects some deception at the Mariners game.
True.
Well, they got to keep the people entertained, right? What is it? The seventh inning or something where they decide?
I don't know exactly what. I'm guessing. Probably not seventh inning, but it's one of these one of these little entertainment segments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's their speed dating game. And I saw this video a week ago, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like this happy couple. Let me share it with you.
Yeah, see that, Joe. This is for everybody that's right off the bat. This is a fix. I can tell by the girl.
So they pick two people in the crowd.
Yeah.
Ask a couple questions. They have cards that say yes or no to answer.
Yeah.
And then eventually
She's too hot.
And he's very good looking too, by the way.
Yeah, this is a fake.
And eventually.
Yeah.
Would you like to go on another date? Yes, yes. It's a match.
And then the crowd goes crazy.
They give some gifts.
He just happens to be sitting there with her Mariners shirt tied in a knot, so you see her belly button.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Oh, there they are. All right. And?
So, not only, and I was actually interested in talking to her. It's like, hey, this has gone completely viral. Fox 13 did a segment on their speed dating segment today. And so I was interested in reaching out to her, and I found out that not only does she work in the speed dating industry, like she promotes all manners of speed dating all around Seattle and elsewhere. She's also a professional model. She's an influencer. And
boy, that guy was lucky who just happened to get her.
This was a fix. This was a paid endorsement, a partnership.
You were blowing the lid off this thing. But by the way, you're not suicidal, are you?
Nope. I'm in perfect health.
Okay,
everything's fine.
Right. Joe disappears the next day. What do you want us to do with that information that they set up the speed dating?
I don't know.
Who are you going to take this to?
It seems unfair. False advertising. What if I wanted to speed date?
Call Pam Bondi or something like that. Let's get to the end of this. Yeah. All right. So then what do you think they should have told everybody? This is just an example of the way good speed dating should go.
Yes, absolutely. Say, hey, this is our pilot or something like that. If you want to be part of our speed dating program, sign up here.
Why don't you call somebody from the Mariners organization and have them go on and have them say, yeah, we're just trying to keep people entertained. Huh?
Okay, I'll do that. You know what? I'll do that. Fine. There's more room in this rabbit hole.
Oh, that's a tease.
Okay. All right. You tell them it's for a segment called Joe's Hole and see if they come on. All right. Hang on there, Mrs. B, in your house of cats. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate, on.
Seattle Mariners has the update. 40 minutes now to get yourself through downtown Seattle on North 5. Heavy volumes prior to the West Seattle Bridge at the Ship Canal. South 5 is unchanged. Still heavy at Lake City Way down to I-90. We're closing in on a half hour from Linwood in the downtown. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, about 25 minutes on both of our routes. Westbound 90, you're slow across the lake over to I-5, and westbound 520, you're clear across the lake, but it's bumper to bumper at Mountain Lake over to I-5. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. Stop and go from the Duwamish Curve to 516. Southbound 405, we're heavy from 520 all the way down to the Renton Landing. It's bumper to bumper from about Northeast 8th through Factoria. And Tacoma to Olympia, a 40-minute drive. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season, presented by T-Mobile. The first show is May 29th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. You know, K2 Vision, they are the ones to go to if you are over the age of 50 and you don't want to wear glasses anymore, contact, concerned about a cataract. No bifocals for you, because about 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago anyway, when I went over there because my eyes were getting worse and worse, and every year I had to get another pair of glasses, and I met Dr. Kopstein, and he said, listen, this could work for you. He looks at my eyes, he goes, oof, your eyes are really bad. I said, I know. Look how thick my glasses are. So I do K2 Vision, REL, K2 Vision, K2 Vision REL, and I end up, RLE, I'm sorry, a little dyslexia. She might need some glasses. K2 Vision RLE. It's 5 minutes on one eye, 5 on the other. And you know what? I now have 20/20 vision. I'm sure you've got lots of questions if you're over the age of 50. Like, for instance, will RLE work for me? You know, how do I pay for it? How long does it take? What's the recovery? All those questions will be answered for you tomorrow at noon, because they're going to be having a live webinar at K2VisionRLE.com. That's where you register, K2VisionRLE.com.
The Chi and Ursula Show.
Prices in the Seattle area jumped nearly 5% in April.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Well above the national inflation rate of 3.8%. So, in other words, we're paying more than much of the rest of America is right now.
It feels like a treadmill that continues to get faster and faster and faster, but somebody keeps speeding it up and increasing the incline.
Chi and Ursula. Watch live or later on the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us? Touchdown! Seahawks! This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
For years, I've been telling you how much we care for our hens and the land here at Wilcox Farms. But don't just take my word for it. Our family's commitment is backed by trusted third-party certifications. Hartley Wilcox here. Wilcox eggs are USDA organic, meaning no synthetic pesticides or GMOs. We're certified humane, ensuring our hens live with dignity and space to roam. We're salmon safe, protecting Northwest waterways, and recognized for sustainable farming practices. These aren't just labels. They're proof that every one of our eggs comes from a farm that values animal welfare, environmental stewardship, and your family's health. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. They're not only delicious, they're certifiably humane and organic, raised with care you can trust. Learn more at WilcoxFamilyFarms.com, because doing the right thing isn't just our promise, it's our principle. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples, that was easy.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Former Cuban leader Raul Castro and 5 others are indicted by a U.S. grand jury in Florida on murder and conspiracy charges. The charges are over Cuba's shooting down of planes operated by a humanitarian group in 1996. 3 Americans and a U.S. resident were killed. Face the Nation moderator, Margaret Brennan.
This is a grand jury indictment, and it's really a statement in many ways about intent and certainly about the frustration that the 94-year-old Raul Castro still remains very much influential, even though he no longer runs the country.
President Trump says the Cuban people are grateful for the indictment. He also says he's ready to renew military strikes against Iran if that country's leaders don't reach a peace deal soon.
We're dealing with people that are, I think, far more reasonable than the people that are really no longer with us. We're dealing with some people with talent, with good brain power, and we're pretty impressed by it. So hopefully those people will make a deal that's going to be great for everybody.
If you're traveling this Memorial Day weekend, Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan says you might see slight relief at the gas pump in some areas.
The drop in the price of oil related to the possibility that the U.S. and Iran could be close on negotiations, according to President Trump, though we have seen in the past similar talk that has not yet panned out. So whether this relief is long-lasting or if negotiations are moving forward, that certainly could be a promising sign.
Former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has clinched the Democratic nomination in the Georgia governor's race. Lance Bottoms spoke with Major Garrett about her big win and the push toward the general election in November.
What I'm thinking about right now is just how I'm going to deliver for the people across this state. So obviously the historical context of it could be significant. But when I am talking to voters across this state, their concerns are about how a leader will deliver for their communities.
Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones and healthcare billionaire Rick Jackson advanced to the runoff in the Republican primary for governor. An Israeli cabinet minister has sparked an international outcry over the treatment of activists from a Gaza flotilla that Israel intercepted, calling it a provocation. Reporter Linda Gradstein has more from Jerusalem.
Extremist National Security Advisor Itamar Ben-Gvir posted a video showing dozens of activists kneeling and bound as he waves a large Israeli flag. He also urges guards at the detention facility not to be bothered by their screams. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Ben-Gvir's behavior was not in line with Israel's values. European governments also protested, saying they would issue an official rebuke.
This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, an Amber Alert's issued out of Mason County, the latest after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Oh, it's getting busy out there, Aaron. The DR Horton has your update. 40 minutes through downtown Seattle on North 5. Heavy volumes starting at the West Seattle Bridge. Express lanes at 85th. We've got a disabled vehicle right there in the middle lane. You're backed up to 45th. South 5 heavy at Lake City Way to I-90. It's about a half hour from Linwood in the downtown. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. You're slow from I-90 all the way into Alderwood. Seattle to Everett's at 50 minutes. It's slow from Northgate up into Mill Creek. Canyon Park, southbound 405 at 527. Got a new collision blocking both of your general purpose lanes. That leaves just that toll lane open right now. Bellevue to Renton, we're closing in on a half hour. Really heavy from 520 all the way down to the VMAC. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 45 minutes. And we've got a new collision in Federal Way at South 5 at State Route 18, blocking your left general purpose lane. Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. An Amber Alert is in effect out of Mason County. KIRO 7 TV's El Thomas reports a 4-year-old boy from Shelton was taken by his father during a supervised visit today.
So Kyson's 4 years old. He was last seen in a black Batman t-shirt, and a picture of his father for you here. This is Joshua Moen. He does have some distinct tattoos on his knuckles on each hand. One hand says rock, the other hand says roll. They were last near the 600 block of West Park Street in Shelton. The car here, a blue 2005 Honda Pilot, Washington license plate number CDE 7808. If you see them, call 911.
Recall effort now underway targeting all 4 North Shore School Board members who voted to eliminate that school resource officer program at Bothell High. The board voted to end the program, citing equity concerns, despite the district's own survey showing a large majority of students support it. Senior Brady Miniman tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red he helped organize that walkout of hundreds of students.
I just thought, we got to do something. We got to show them that what they're doing is wrong, and they're voting completely off of their political beliefs and not what the community wants.
Well, the board says some students feel unsafe with an armed officer on campus. Officer Garrett Ware's contract will expire at the end of this school year. King County Council member continues to sound the alarm after a review found nearly $700,000 in questionable spending tied to the Department of Community and Human Services. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more from Reagan Dunn.
Dunn says the audit focused on just 2% of contracts with DCHS community partners. On the G and Ursula show, Dunn says one can only imagine what might be uncovered with a closer look at the other 98%.
I think there's a fair bit of incompetence. I think there is some clear corruption and fraud involved here. And some of it is a culture of sort of looking the other way within King County.
The King County Ombuds Office plans to refer suspected fraud to law enforcement for criminal investigation. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle City Council passes new rules to expand tiny home, village, and shelter space capacity to 150 beds all over Seattle. That's up from the current limit of 100. This legislation is part of Mayor Katie Wilson's effort to add 1,000 new shelter beds in Seattle by the end of the year. Your weather update now. We are seeing mostly sunny skies this afternoon and again for tomorrow. Highs tomorrow in the low 70s. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go with the John Curley Show. Thank you, everyone, one and all. And by the way, I really got some people's hackles up talking about the state feeding every single kid.
Vast majority agree with you.
Well, what can I say? Smart audience. 1-888-973-5476. Have it here. Yeah! All right. If you need to sue the state, there's only one guy to call. Joel Ard. The attorney, according to AI, you know what they say about you?
I can't even imagine.
Not good things. All right, moving on.
That's probably true then.
Tell me the story, Joel, of the woman that found out that she was an Uber driver in L.A.
Yeah, so after you guys had me on the show in March, I got a lot of calls from folks who had sort of interesting things happen with their driver's licenses in that 2018 to 25 timeframe. And one of them was a woman who reached out to me and said that she discovered that something had happened with her identity and driver's license when she was contacted because she had just been in an accident while driving an Uber in L.A. And she said, I've never been to L.A., and I'm not an Uber driver.
Oh, good. She's okay.
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently her license had been redirected to another address and sold off to someone to use as an Uber driver in Southern California.
Well, I'm sure this is a rare occurrence that has only affected a few people.
We think it probably affected at least 10,000 in the state of Washington over that window.
How'd that happen? I mean, not that anybody would want to do this, but how did they do it? They've closed the window now. But...
I'm happy to talk about what I've discovered because I do think that the window has been closed.
And this is what you're suing the state for?
Suing the Department of Licensing for, yeah.
Here we go.
So in 2018, they tried to do two things at once. And one of them, and anybody who's been in the state long enough can remember that their old driver's license number used to have their last name, the first 5 characters of their last name, their middle initial, and a long alphanumeric string.
Yeah.
As it turns out, that alphanumeric string was not random. It was generated by an algorithm based on your birth date.
Okay.
So if you knew someone's name and birth date, you could tell them what their driver's license number was.
Yes. Okay.
A little party trick.
Yes, sure.
And in fact, there's websites that will do that for you. So the Department of Licensing, wisely, I don't discredit them for this, said, that's not really particularly safe or secure, and we need to get rid of that. And so your current driver's license number starts with WDL, and then it really is a random generated set of numbers and letters.
Keep going, yeah. Okay.
So the other thing they decided to do in 2018 was launch License Express so that people wouldn't have to go into the brick and mortar driver's license office to do stuff. The trouble is they decided to do both of these at once. And so, and literally embedded in the HTML of the License Express website, you can still find the code for this. It no longer works, but it was there. What they called the no logon portal. And you could go into License Express and put in your name, your birth date, and your driver's license number and change your information. The trouble is the driver's license number was completely insecure because if you knew someone's name and birth date, you could derive their driver's license number.
And you could find it online if you wanted to, right? Because you could different places have people's names and birth dates.
One of the places that had people's names and birth dates is the voter registration database, which is public record. You can request it from the Secretary of State. It takes about 5 minutes to get it. And they used to give it to you with the full birth date in it. So somebody could have gotten the list of names and birth dates of every single person in the state of Washington and gone into the License Express website, logged in as that person, and redirected their driver's license to a new address.
Okay, so let's say somebody for nefarious purposes does that. So they redirect the driver's license to a different address, to the address that they now have, concocted. Now they have the driver's license. Now what?
Well, it certainly is the key to a lot of prospects of identity theft. I mean, that's the information in the driver's license database is really core to your identity and being able to prove that you are not who you are. Right. If I wanted to go be John Curley, get your driver's license, bleach my hair a little bit and stop shaving, and next thing you know, I could.
Good luck with that, Joel. Yeah, you better go to advanced hair first. All right, so. And this has happened, and you have evidence of this is happening with numerous. This is a tort case, I'm assuming, right? So, in fact, Bess Byers, who's been on this show, she's one of the plaintiffs in it because she was able to prove that somebody did this to her, and that it cost her, I guess, money because her identity was stolen, and she ended up, being on the hook for a bunch of bills.
Yeah, and this is, this is in the complaint. She discovered that she was a victim of identity theft, but when that happens to people, they don't necessarily know where or why or how that happened. So she took all the appropriate steps to, deal with locking down her credit and these loans that have been taken out in her name and so on and so forth. But then later in 2020, she didn't get a ballot mailed to her. So that was sort of odd. So she went in and voted in person and voted in person in the November 2020 election.
Yeah.
And then got a call later in November of someone wanting to do a signature cure on her ballot envelope. And she thought, well, that's sort of weird because I didn't get a ballot. I didn't mail a ballot in. I voted in person. Tried to sort that out. Then in May, I think it was May of 21, she went to use the License Express to update her license, and License Express tells her you already have an account.
Ooh.
So she calls the Department of Licensing and got from them a form letter, and I've gotten the form letters in response to a public records request. They would send out a form letter to people who they recognized had their licenses affected by this, I don't want to call it a breach, this open front door. but they never acknowledged that it was their own structure that was the problem. They never acknowledged that they were the ones that had created the door.
Right.
And they never did the report that you're required to do under state law. When you have 500 or more people affected, you have to make a public disclosure
to everybody, right? Rather than you might be having trouble.
Right. Oh, yeah.
On there.
Yeah, the letters are very disingenuous. Someone may have accessed your information.
All right, so here's the question. Is it with malice or is it just incompetence?
I think this one's more incompetence, except that they clearly knew it was going on for a long stretch of time. They left it open for 6 years. They wanted everybody to use License Express. They didn't want people to go into the physical building, and they didn't. I guess they assumed people aren't going to do that if you have to get a letter in the mail to get a login code, or if you have to, put more security around it. So the limit of their security was name, birth date, and driver's license.
Now, here's the other part. The liability comes in where when do they know about it and what do they do about it? If they knew about it at a certain point, 6 months in or something, hey, we see there's a pattern of this stuff happening and people are complaining that, hey, I didn't get my license or my license has gone somewhere else. They then know about it and then don't do anything about it, right? So when you present this to a judge, as you sort of lay out all this and everybody's asking for some sort of damages, what do you think ends up, how do they end up making everybody whole on this? And what are the important points that you make that sort of brings the zeros at the end of the check?
Yeah, I think the first problem is just structuring it that way to begin with. It's an obvious problem. They knew the driver's licenses were not secure. That's why they were changing the driver's license numbers. So to take an insecure system that they've recognized as insecure and make it the access point for online changes, fundamentally flawed at the outset. But then they knew about it pretty early on, is my understanding. And we've asked for that in litigation discovery. And they left it open, I think, because they wanted to get everybody in and have those licenses updated. But a lot of people, to my understanding, close to 10,000 at least were affected by driver's license redirects alone in that 6-year period.
So what does it end up? What do you think it ends up costing the state? Just generally, what when you walk in there? What do you ask for?
Yeah, among the things that you ask for, and these are pretty typical. Unfortunately, there's a lot of identity theft that goes on. And
we had one of the best identity theft people who then went to the Biden administration, Susie Levine, who did a great job opening up, so everybody got checks during that whole COVID thing. A lot of Nigerian princes did quite well in the state of Washington. Remember that whole thing?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she was millions.
They
millions
email me and ask to represent them in moving the money back in, and I usually.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a scam at all.
So, all right. So, so the judge goes, okay, absolutely, blah, blah, and then they make the state pay.
Yeah, and
give me a ballpark on it, Joel.
You have to do things. Well, part of what the answer to that, it really depends on how bad the breaches are and how much data is out there, because you do want to get people the ability to have a few years of credit report checks and that kind of stuff. This one's bad enough that I think we're probably going to be looking for the really major, not just the simple credit locks, but the major sort of investigatory background ones.
Wow.
Once you're talking about something that affected really everybody in the state of Washington, 7 million records in that database, and you really have no idea for years to come who's sitting on what data from it. They know about the ones where somebody redirected a license.
Give me a number. What are we talking about here? Because it's coming out of everybody's. The taxpayers will pay, and then I'm sure the people at the Department of Licensing and whoever set this up, heads will roll. I'm sure they'll all be fired.
I know there's a lot of accountability in state government these days, John.
Right.
I think we're usually looking at a cost in the 20s to 50s of dollars a head to make available this kind of identity theft protection for people for a period of 2 to 3 years, and that's usually what's typical. So if you're talking about $50 a pop for 5 million people, it's an unfortunately hefty chunk of money just to protect people from the incompetence of Department of Licensing.
If somebody makes money off the incompetence of Olympia, this could be like shooting fish in a barrel.
There's a lot of targets in that barrel, John. You're right.
That's why they're outlawing so many guns. But for you, are you involved in another one? Are you also working on the DCYF stuff, or you letting somebody else handle all that?
Yeah, not at the moment. I'm not working on DCYF
that one
at the moment.
Okay.
You're doing the sheriff, the sheriff bill, right?
I am. Yeah. So It's a great one. The Washington State Sheriff's Association hired me to challenge that bill. Just a giant bucket of unconstitutionality.
For bringing everybody up to speed on that, basically, the sheriff gets elected by the people. But then, that's not good enough. Then that sheriff has to go before an appointed board.
Before. It's not then.
Before they run?
Yes.
So right. That was the first part. They decide they want to run. Yeah. They decide when they run. Then they have to go before the board, and then the board says, well, have you done this and this and this and this? Have you been indoctrinated? Are you able to understand pronouns? But then we will approve you before you can run.
Psychiatric evaluation before you can run. Are you a member of any extremist groups?
Show us your social media pages.
Yes. No, and nobody knows what an extremist group is, right?
Right.
I think we can guess it. In the eyes of the beholder, but the Biden administration said that people who went to traditional Latin Mass were extremists.
The Catholics, yeah.
Right. So, the basic premise here is nobody's going to give the government the authority to decide who can belong to what organization or not.
So then at that point, the appointed board then says, okay,
you can run.
You can run, and then the person's allowed to run. And if they decide, no, you're not allowed, then, sorry, you can't.
That's the premise of the law. Yeah.
I assume
the board can also remove people from office.
Yeah. That's part of it. Yeah, that's what I started with. Yeah. So they win. The people say we want that person vox populi. That's the person we want. We want that person to represent us. Then that sheriff, if they violate something or no, just
tweet.
Yes, randomly the board can pull them in, say, hey, listen, even though you were elected, we don't like you, and now you're fired.
Right, and of course there is a removal provision in the state constitution for removing elected officers.
Yeah.
And this is not that. So if you want to remove someone from office, you've got to have a petition. It has to have a suitable statement of wrongdoing. That can be tested in court. You've got to collect a lot of signatures. You got to get them on the ballot. And this is just a different thing. We'll have the CJTC, a bunch of gubernatorial appointees in Olympia just decide that, John Curley's got a little too extreme to be the sheriff. And we're just going to pull him from office.
So I assume that if somebody like Tim Ormsby or Natasha Hill or Jamie Peterson wants to run, do they also have to go before a board of some sort to make sure they're mentally competent?
Unfortunately, no. And they didn't suggest that in this bill either. They didn't create a pre-screening for legislative candidates.
Is this bill completely in reaction to Keith Swank?
Is it the Keith Swank bill?
No, I don't think it is. It's been floated before. There were definitely discussions that some members who voted against it in the past voted in favor of it as a reaction to him. But at least bits and pieces of this bill have been floated in multiple past sessions.
You think you'll win this one?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're right. Isn't that all it takes?
But apparently, if the Supreme Court ruled on it back in 1933, that it's too old, so we have to have the new Supreme Court rule on things because they determine that, especially when it comes to the income tax.
Actually, the Supreme Court has ruled on qualifications for office a lot of times, and they do go back to the 10s and 20s, but also very recently, and they've very, very consistently said, for constitutional offices, the Constitution is a floor and a ceiling. You can't add to the basic constitutional requirements.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, it's different in like cities are all created by the legislature. And so there's sort of more leeway to add. There is no constitutional basis for being a mayor. The city can add or subtract what they want because the Constitution doesn't even create the cities. They're all creatures of statute. But for the things that are created by the Constitution, that's it. That's the floor, that's the ceiling. And that's true for sheriffs as much as county assessors, as much as the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction.
Let me just sort of play devil's advocate here. That again, they set the thing up because they make these cops and sheriffs go through all this stuff, right? They make sure that they, are decent human beings. They've gone all through this training, and they're basically saying the sheriff that's representing all the other sheriffs should have the same training, should go through the same classes. They have to be equal to the people that are out there on the streets.
And that was already in law. If you were not a certified law enforcement officer and ran for sheriff and won, you had 12 months to go through the training and get certified.
Okay.
But this is radically different. It's not not just that you're certified before you're allowed to run. You also have to have had at least 5 years of experience, continuous law enforcement experience. And then there's all these other checks on it that include, the social media checks and are you a member of an extremist organization? And none of this is defined, and we're all going to give it to a group of appointees
that have lived experiences. I like that group of people.
Yeah, and they're going to make the rules, and I'm sure we trust them all to decide who's too extreme and not enough extreme.
Joe Lard. By the way, Joe's got a case for you. Apparently, at a Mariners game, there was they acted like they were part of a speed dating, just random. But Joe thinks it was all set up.
They probably aren't even single.
Yeah, there you go. We'll explain more. But you got other things to do.
Speed dating at a Mariners game.
Joel's like, I smell money. I smell money. Joel Hart, thanks a lot for coming by. Keep up the good work. Let us know what happens on all of that stuff. By the way, if you believe that your driver's license was redirected somewhere else, how do they get in touch with you? Do they have to apply with the state, or what do they do? Go to your house?
No, once we get the lawsuit underway, there's going to be notices out to everybody involved. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you, Joel Hart. Appreciate it. All right, here comes Nate. Check and traffic, Nathan.
Wilcox Farms has the update. Our afternoon Mariners game just let out, so you can expect heavy volumes in Soto and headed over to 99 and I-5. Right now, the downtown tunnel is quickly filling in northbound. We cleared our stall from the express lanes up at 85th. Bellevue to Everett still at 1 hour. We're still slow from I-90 into Alderwood. Seattle to Everett hanging on at 50 minutes. You're slow from Northgate up into Mill Creek. In Everett, North 5, just past 526, a collision is in the right center lane. You're bumper to bumper at 526 to the seam. In Canyon Park, we cleared that collision. South 405 at 527 on your right shoulder. You're backed up into Alderwood. Bellevue to Renton, we're at a half hour. It is jam-packed from 520 all the way down to the VMAC. And in Federal Way, South 5 at State Route 18. Our earlier collision that was blocking is now sitting on your left shoulder. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
When it comes to replacing that comfort system, homeowners want three things. They want quality they can trust, service that respects their time, and they also want the confidence that they're making the right long-term decision. That's where Home Comfort Alliance comes along. A Carrier factory-authorized dealer. They meet the strictest milestones for training, installation, quality, customer satisfaction. Benchmarks that only the best contractors can achieve. That's why the reviews are constantly at the top of their class. You want efficiency, reliability, quiet performance, and professional installation. That's all that matters to you, and that's where Home Comfort Alliance comes along. They make it so easy. They've got this thing called a price estimator. 60 seconds on your phone. You get an honest quote. You don't waste time. Right now, you want to upgrade to a Carrier cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will give you a heating system for free. Plus, they handle all the utility rebates, the available discounts to get you the best possible value. For the world we share, choose Carrier and Home Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's all there for you. Calling the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Who doesn't love fish? Fish is great. Fish is delicious. You know what isn't good? Fish passage projects, because they get in the way. 28-mile detours coming for some of our truck drivers who use Highway 3. 16 days of closures. I'll tell you all about it on Thursday on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, want to consider Aegis Living Respite Care, a short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
We identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Pierce County Sheriff's detectives say one of their own is now charged with felony harassment with threats to kill. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
The charges come following a domestic violence-related incident reported by a family member back in December. Investigators spent weeks interviewing those involved before the case was sent to prosecutors earlier this month. The deputy, Edgar Ruiz, hired in 2022, was taken off patrol back in January and is now facing termination. Deputy Carly Capetto with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office.
We respond to domestic violence calls on a regular basis. Our deputies know better and are held to a high standard.
Sheriff's Office calls the alleged conduct unacceptable and says it will not be tolerated. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
An Arlington police officer is under arrest, accused of having explicit images of children. KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horka reports the Island County Sheriff's Office arrested the officer.
In a statement about this, the Arlington Police Department told KIRO 7, quote, these allegations are deeply troubling and, if proven true, would stand in direct opposition to the values, oath, and mission of this department. The department says the officer has been put on leave while both a criminal investigation and an internal investigation move forward.
U.S. House lawmakers are considering a new annual fee for electric vehicle owners. That bipartisan bill would charge them $130 a year to go toward funding highway repairs. Washington Congressman Rick Larson is the ranking Democrat on the House Transportation Committee. He says this comes down to fairness.
They're paying $0 into the Federal Highway Trust Fund right now, and kind of, getting away with it.
Now, plug-in hybrid owners would pay $35 under this bill. The Transportation Committee discusses the measure tomorrow. Starting today, dogs can now take in the sea air on all Washington State ferry routes. Justin Fujioka is with the State Ferry Service, tells us a trial program is now permanent.
But yes, people are stoked when we did this in the trial, and we hope that people are even more stoked now. I know there are a little bit more restrictions in the trial.
He says pets do need to stay on leash at all times. You can bring them into most passenger areas, but there are exceptions, including indoor food service areas. To the real-time traffic desk now. Here's Nate Connors.
All righty. Up in Everett, we cleared our disabled vehicle North 5 just before Lowell Road. It's now on your right shoulder and right on that fog line. I'm seeing drivers actually move over as you approach the stall, which is probably best. You're bumper to bumper from the Everett Mall to the scene, but this is really the biggest backup between Everett and Marysville. In fact, Everett to Marysville, still a decent 10-minute commute. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. You're slow from I-90 into Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. You're slow from Northgate up into Mill Creek. South 5 into Seattle, it is packed from Northgate down to I-90 now. South 5, bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. Give yourself 40 to 45 minutes to clear all this. Bellevue to Renton is a half-hour drive. It's packed from 520 down to the VMAC. South 5 at State Route 18 and Federal Way. We do have a collision on the left shoulder right next to the HOV lane, causing drivers to slow down. And really, we've got scattered backups starting from Tukwila to the seam. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season, presented by T-Mobile. The first show is May 29th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
A lot of sunshine out there this afternoon. Tomorrow looks good as well. Highs in the low 70s. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring showers, more like spring sprinkles, downpours, hailstorms, cold snaps, flooding, and even a little sun. Spring in Western Washington changes day to day, even hour to hour. That's why you need experts who have decades of experience and the right tools to help you keep your weather ready. Watch KIRO 7 pinpoint weather forecasts in every newscast and on the KIRO 7 apps for your phone or TV.
Here he comes. Take the car to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's Auto Service Center. What's that sound? That car's not running right. Nate took his car to Buc-ee's. Nate took his car to Buc-ee's. One more Buc-ee's. Nate walked into Buc-ee's. What did he say?
Yes, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Buc-ee's. 'Cause I'd have to walk.
He don't want to walk. Buc-ee's.
I'd be walking.
Nate don't like to walk.
I don't like to walk.
He don't want to walk.
That's why I go to Buc-ee's. Yeah.
Okay, stop. Stop.
Have a guess.
Stop. People. We're radio. We're professional broadcasters, for crying out loud.
Are we?
We're going to be manipulated by some cheap drum track. Andrew, shame on you. Play some other music. Boy, was I surprised this morning when I got a call from the man himself, Kevin Van Hollebeck, a guy that apparently got large pumpkin seeds and has now been self-pollinating. Isn't that against the Catholic Church? You go blind, by the way, when you do that. So apparently, Kevin calls me up because I didn't know it was such a tight crowd of people that are really into growing pumpkins and stuff. And then you offered what outrageous gift to me and my family, Kevin? What did you offer to do?
Well, 3 years ago, some guy grew the world's largest pumpkin at 2,745 pounds.
Yes.
And I paid him, I'm a frugal man by nature.
Okay.
I paid $375 for one seed.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, I didn't have time to grow the world's largest pumpkin from that seed, so I self-pollinated it that year.
Uh-huh.
And then last year, I grew a seed from that and then self-pollinated. So we have a genetically pure seed from the world's largest pumpkin.
Okay.
There you go. Well, so that's what we got going.
You know what's pretty crazy?
Now,
we spend $375 for one seed, right? And then you're like, oh, I'll get around to it later. Like what else did you have to do? Like you were obviously committed to growing a big pumpkin, but then that you're like, I got other stuff to do.
Well, I watch 7 grandsons 5 days a week.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right.
You know, I tend to take on too much.
I
So
see.
so there you go.
All right.
And
all right.
that's right. Now I'm going to show you the pumpkin if that's okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think we're allowed to see it. Are we allowed to see the pumpkin? Yes, we are. Okay, here it comes.
The pumpkin plant. Okay. Is that showing up there?
Oh,
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
it's already going.
Right on the side of the road.
Right. Well, I'm near a cell phone tower.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
that was my first priority.
Okay.
So wanted to make sure you saw it. Now this is only 27 days old.
Yeah, it's not in the
So-
ground.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
you know the movie.
Wait, Kevin, is it in the ground?
No.
No. It's in a little 6x6 inch pot.
Okay. Yes.
It's a short 1 gallon pot.
Can you hold it up for him, Kevin? Because John's confused.
I'm not confused. Sure, I can. I'm
There
not
we
confused.
go.
Is he in the ground or not? Okay.
Arms aren't
Oh,
long
there it is.
enough.
Okay.
Get
Yes.
everybody in. There we go.
That's a genetically modified seed from $375 seed. Then you have just kept going to make sure that this. So this is the seed. Like if they talk about the horse running in the Preakness, that's the
Triple Crown Genetics.
Triple Crown Genetics,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Exactly.
All
This
right.
is like in the movie Secretariat when he's born and 90 seconds later he stands up.
Yes.
That's what you're seeing here. You're seeing pure success. This is pretty much guaranteed to be the world's largest as long as you take good care of it, which I'm sure you will.
I will. Okay. So you're
Because you don't have anything going on. You're just going to sit there and watch your pumpkin every day.
Well, so this pumpkin, by the way, we had somebody else came on it, and he was the one that gave me all the details. Another person comes on, I got to put this tarp over it, and then I'm supposed to rub oil on it, and then
Heat the ground.
Well, we're past heating the ground, but all this extra stuff you're supposed to do to get this thing to really get going. So this thing has the capability because its father or its mother or whatever it was grandfather grew to 2,749 pounds.
Right.
Where was that?
Right.
Kevin.
So that was back in, Midwest somewhere, maybe Massachusetts, even up in there. I'm not sure exactly, but
Okay.
I paid a ridiculously large amount. I'm embarrassed to admit how much I spent because I'm a frugal guy.
Yeah.
But we got it. Now I keep it simple. I hit it with a lot of triple 20 liquid fertilizer.
Yeah.
And I tilled the ground really well. I planted it in this glacial till garbage that we have around here in the suburbs of Seattle.
Yeah.
And I grew. First one I grew was 666 pounds.
All right.
And I lied and said it was 667 because I didn't want to deal with
the whole
the
devil thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I lied right there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. The first year I spent an hour a night tending to my pumpkin.
You did.
And-
And of all the other things that you could be doing, like walking that dog or anything else, what do you normally, when you're spending the hour doing that, Kevin, are you allowing the grandkids to play with open flame? Are you not spending time talking to your wife? What else should you be doing? Admit it.
Well, the grandkids can do anything they want as long as they stay away from the pumpkin plant. My goodness, are you crazy?
Right. If they're trapped up a tree with a dog barking at them right now, that's not a concern because we were talking about pumpkins right now. All right, well, look.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to the next. I'm just parked in the neighborhood near a cell phone tower, so I'm gonna move a little ways away.
Okay.
And
by the way,
God, I wish I
Anoka,
was-
Minnesota, 2,749 pounds, grown by Travis Geinger.
That's right, Travis Geinger. Right. That's where he bought the seed from. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
All right. And this is, I'm not going to, nobody from the Department of, I don't know, Natural Resources is going to come to the barn in Cle Elum and say, you've got this seed that came in from Minnesota. I mean, I'm not violating any laws. Am I? I'm deeply concerned about that.
This is all legit. Yeah, that's very controlled on where you can transport seeds and plants.
Okay,
and
good.
such like that.
All right.
That's very controlled. He played by all the rules. We're playing by all the rules.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin, if
Joe is more excited about this than he should be.
This is why I keep booking these. If the 2,700 pound pumpkin, how many seeds come out of that are sellable?
Probably about 200. So yeah, you're doing the math like 200 times 375. I probably paid the most of anybody though. He probably gave a bunch away. He gave a bunch away to schools and such like that. So that future farmers of America can grow giant pumpkins because
That's $75,000 on top of the prize money that he won from the half.
I don't know why anybody's selling drugs on the side.
Serious.
There's some
Yeah,
real
but
serious
that-
money to be made right there. Well,
That guy spends tens of thousands of dollars on his greenhouses, and he builds an elevated walkway above it so that you don't walk on the soil.
Wow.
You're not going to walk on the soil. I mean, come on.
Here you are just dragging that thing around anything close to a cell tower and a barking dog that urinate on it. You don't care. That's a hardy seed that you got. All right, so Kev, you're going to come out to the house on Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. I'll see you there. And bring your grandkid with you, and then I'll let him drive the tractor around. I got I got a 51 Ford, which is extremely dangerous. If it's not a grandkid you care that much about, or we can get on the more traditional John Deere. But you will have some fun, okay?
Oh, excellent. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. And then because Joe is really into me actually attempting to go for the one of the largest pumpkins.
He needs your help, Kevin.
Yeah. All right.
And I do have a small group of guys, about a dozen of us, get together and throw in $100 and see who can grow the largest pumpkin. So if you want to enter that contest, you're more than welcome to join as long as you got your $100.
He's entering.
All right, I'm in on that one. All right, Kevin, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Take care of the dog, the pumpkin, the grandkids, and I'll see you Saturday.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye-bye. There he goes. This is going to be fun. How about that, huh?
He's great.
I've already started with he's got the plant going already.
That is pure pumpkin genetics right there.
They're coming from the giant pumpkin that everybody remembers, the 2,749-pounder.
Pumpkin.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron loves saying pumpkin. Here comes Nate saying traffic and bumper to bumper. Nathan?
Yes, sir. Our bumper to bumper traffic today is getting worse, too. The M's game ended about 45 minutes ago, so that is adding now to heavy volumes through and out of downtown Seattle. So let's start you on the east side, though. We've got some big backups in North 405 from Mid-Bellevue all the way to Alderwood, and you're really heavy between 520 and 522. North 5 slows from Northgate past 164th and Mill Creek. South 5 heading into Seattle, heavy from Northgate in the downtown. Northbound I-5 is packed at the Michigan curve up to the Ship Canal Bridge. About 40 minutes to get through downtown here. Northbound 99 is heavy from the downtown tunnel up to South Lake Union. Both directions of 99 are heavy down on East Marginal Way. Bellevue to Renton is a half-hour commute. It is bumper to bumper from 520 all the way down to the VMAC. And South 5 heading into South Center slows from mid-Boeing Field all the way down to South 260th before you catch a break. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season, presented by T-Mobile. The first show is May 29th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KZR, KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. If you have, let's say you're over the age of 50 and you don't want to wear glasses anymore and you're sick and tired of the contacts, and you just want to be able to have better vision without having to go to the doctor and every year get another prescription, the answers tomorrow await you, because tomorrow at noon, the good doctors over there at K2 Vision are going to answer everything about RLE, refractive lens exchange, something I had done about 6 years ago. And I can tell you something, it was easy and fast. And the next day, I had 20/20 vision. It was 5 minutes on one eye, 5 on the other. And Dr. Copstein said to me, oh, it's really simple. I've done about 100,000 of these procedures. It normally takes about 2 Beatles songs. And sure enough, when I went in and laid down on the table, there was Beatles music playing in the background. He comes in, he's like, how you doing, John? I go, ready to go. And bing, bing, boom, bang, boom. 5 minutes later, 5 minutes one eye, 5 on the other. I go back in. I've got 20/20 vision. No more glasses, no more contacts. You probably have questions like, are you a good candidate? Will you develop a cataract? How much does it cost? Is financing available? All that stuff. The answer's tomorrow for you at noon. All you got to do is sign up at K2VisionRLE.com. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Roger. Roger, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Over the last several years, my homeowner's insurance policies just kept on going up and up and up. For years, it was $1,100. Last year, it was $2,500. And this year, $5,000. That's what got me to call First Mark Insurance.
Were they able to save you any money?
Absolutely. Within a couple of days, came up with a proposal that blew my socks off. It was an amazing amount of reduction in cost.
Did did they improve your coverage while saving you all that money?
They did both. The coverage is better and the cost is substantially less. It's half as much as I was paying last year. Recommend First Mark to anyone who is looking to get better coverage at less cost.
Well, Roger did it, my family did it, and you got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge and see how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
I guess maybe the guy was driving the Cybertruck into the lake because he wanted to get, I don't know, the poopy or the paint off of the spray paint or anything else that maybe somebody put on. Nobody's vandalizing Cybertrucks anymore. But this guy, Jim McDaniel, gets arrested for driving his Cybertruck into a lake to test the vehicle's wade mode.
Oh, hell nah, bro, look.
This, a Tesla Cybertruck, first trudging through the water, then marooned offshore.
Just stuck in the water.
You can't park there. Turns out you also can't drive there.
Don't drive into the water with your vehicle.
Grapevine PD thought that was common knowledge.
Yes, it is.
This amphibious attempt was a bit of a shock. So we called the driver. He says this is actually his 3rd time driving his Cybertruck into Lake Grapevine. He says the others have gone off without a hitch. The problem this time, he says he went a little too deep. Now he's in deep trouble, and you only think you know why.
Well, in addition to operating a vehicle where he should not have been operating a vehicle, there were also, standard water safety equipment issues. So if you were on a proper marine vessel, you would have a fire extinguisher and flotation devices.
You heard that right. Officers arrested him in part for not having life jackets. But they'd rather he not do this at all.
It's a huge safety issue. We have children on these shores. We have families visiting the lake. It's a safety risk for the passengers as well.
The driver got out through the window. So did 2 German visitors he says he was showing around.
Definitely unusual. Definitely unusual. Not the run-of-the-mill news day.
And the video of it all is now making waves.
Oh, good going in there. He has German visitors with him.
That's weird.
Well, they probably were in Speedos. Germans will do anything to get into a Speedo near a body of water. So I'm reading about it. I want to see if he's single. There's no way this guy's married.
He's 70.
Not happily married. Well, he's going to be married at 70. I'm looking it up. Jimmy Jack McDaniel. That's his full name. Yeah. In the Wade mode, police arresting him. McDaniel told reporters an issue. It wasn't a Cybertruck. He claimed he was driven it before. Oh, he's driven it before.
Well, that was his...
Even in the Atlantic Ocean.
You don't admit that to a reporter.
He said miscalculated. He's just like... He's done it a bunch of times. If you have to tell somebody, where are you going, Jimmy Jack McDaniel? I'm going to drive the truck again in the water. I found a couple of Germans that'll do it with me. He's got to be single.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if he owns a Cybertruck. Come on.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. Here's Nick checking traffic. Wow.
All right, here in Seattle, it's about a 40-minute trip to get through downtown on northbound I-5. We've got a solid backup from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5, we're packed from Northgate down to I-90. East Marginal Way is bumper to bumper now, almost down for coming off the First Avenue South Bridge all the way through downtown, through the tunnel, up to South Lake Union. Southbound 99 is heavy from the Aurora Bridge off and on down to East Marginal Way. Again, some of this traffic is we're dealing with drivers who left the Mariners game close to an hour ago, so that's adding to our downtown Seattle backups this afternoon. The West Seattle Bridge eastbound jams up at Highway 99 over to I-5. Crossing the lake, westbound 520 bumper to bumper from midspan to I-5, and westbound 90 slows across the lake over to I-5. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us?
Touchdown! Seahawks!
This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Elon Musk announces plans for one of the biggest sales of stock to the public ever for his space company that is currently losing billions of dollars a year. More from CBS's Jolene Kent.
The filing was so interesting. It stated, we do not want humans to have the same fate as dinosaurs. And certainly Elon Musk trying to make this a reality for him and his company. But he exerts a lot of control over the business and ownership of the business, and that's why he could become the world's first trillionaire in this public offering.
A record 45 million Americans are preparing to travel over the holiday weekend, but there have already been some problems. A pair of fires in Philadelphia disrupted train service along America's busiest rail corridor, and as CBS's Chris Van Cleve reports,
on the eve of the busy Memorial Day travel weekend, 2 dramatic incidents are creating headaches for people at the airport and on the rails. At New York's LaGuardia Airport, an unusual sight causing lengthy delays.
Tower, car 90 at this time, running 422 is closed. Car 90, roger, 422 is closed.
Closed due to a sinkhole that opened near a runway. Airport authorities discovering it during a daily inspection.
The 94-year-old former leader of Cuba, Raul Castro, and 5 others have been indicted by a U.S. grand jury in Florida in connection with the deadly shooting down of planes operated by a humanitarian group in 1996. 3 Americans and a U.S. resident were killed. Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan reports.
Back in 1996, there weren't charges brought by the Clinton administration. There was action taken, but there is in here also some reference to the fact that this was an ongoing operation by this humanitarian aid group. And frankly, it has been documented that they were warned of the potential risk.
Severe weather will impact millions of Americans along the East Coast as we head into the holiday weekend. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano has more.
That cold front that triggering those thunderstorms, and it will trigger some cold air. We'll see temperatures plummet by a good 30 degrees over the next 24 hours. And then heading into the holiday weekend, it does look to be much, much chillier and heavy rain across parts of the southeastern third of the country. But this gets up into the northeast, and that's through the Memorial Day weekend.
Several people in California have been arrested in a series of residential burglaries in Ventura County, West Los Angeles, Burbank, and other locations that involved high-tech theft tactics. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman.
These 7 different defendants were arrested by a combination of law enforcement throughout this county and throughout this Southern California region.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Coming up, a federal warning about a high-tech kidnapping scam. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has our update. 40 minutes gets you through downtown Seattle on North 5. It is bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. North of downtown, North 5, you're slow from Northgate into Mill Creek. South 5 is packed from Lake City way now down to I-90. Crossing the lake into Seattle, westbound 520 jams up mid-span. Westbound 90 slows across the lake over to I-5. Northbound 99, you're bumper to bumper from East Marginal Way all the way to South Lake Union. Southbound 99 is crowded leaving the stadiums onto East Marginal. Northbound 405, we're heavy from Kirkland all the way to the Alderwood interchange. South 405 through Bellevue, bumper to bumper from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, and then you'll slowly start to thin out. And North 405 heading into Renton is packed from I-5 and South Center just before the Maple Valley Highway, where it looks like we may have a new crash. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo, and new this hour, an Amber Alert out of Mason County has been canceled. The State Patrol says 26-year-old Joshua Moen has been located. Agency says he abducted his 4-year-old son during a supervised visit in Shelton. FBI is warning Seattle area families about an AI-powered virtual kidnapping scam. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch explains.
The FBI says high-tech criminals are using AI voice cloning, altered photos, and manipulated proof-of-life videos gathered from social media to convince unsuspecting family members. And an immediate ransom payment is demanded. Here's FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Gerald Birkin.
These are very real, very believable, and very traumatic for the people that are involved.
Experts recommend coming up with a family code word, taking screenshots of any threats, and reporting suspected scams to the FBI's Internet Complaints website at ic3.gov. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Only 3 weeks left to apply for federal disaster assistance if you were affected by December's historic flooding. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson reports there are 3 types of assistance you can apply for.
Individual disaster assistance, unemployment disaster assistance if you lost any wages or revenue from that, and there are also federal disaster assistance low-interest loans through the federal government.
So far, FEMA has distributed $6.5 million to more than 700 households across 10 counties. Tiny house villages and shelters in Seattle will soon be able to add more beds. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery has more.
The plan allows shelters all across the city to go from 100 to 150 beds and to 250 at select sites. This is part of the race to open 1,000 new beds by the end of this year. Councilmember Bob Kettle.
I always say housing first, yes, if it's a photo finish with wraparound services, because we do need to have those wraparound services, and we should be encouraging those wraparound services, that encouraging the decision calculus towards treatment.
This is a temporary plan, so the council will refine it and hear public comment to make it permanent. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
And your forecast now, looking at partly cloudy skies tonight and again for tomorrow. Highs will be in the mid-70s the next couple of days. Should be very nice weather. Right now, 67 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there a speaker against name, chapter, pronoun?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay.
Is that the Democrat, socialist? Was that
Democratic
in Canada?
Socialist.
Is that in Canada?
I think it was.
It was a couple of years ago.
It's a while ago,
Did you see the one they had this year?
Is it even better?
With the, LGBTQ, RSTU, VWXYZ. They had that whole big long list, and then, that was a wild one. They had all sorts
MMIW, G2S, LGBTQIA+.
You should have seen everybody. And they had cards. If you had a yellow card, then you were able to speak, but then nobody could, trump the yellow card because you were also, you're nearsighted and you were allergic to penicillin and you were indigenous or something. Then if that person spoke before you spoke, it was wild. I thought I'm going to watch 2 minutes of it, but I was in for a half an hour of everybody screaming and yelling. Everybody was a victim, but there were various levels of victimhood, and one person could trump another person. Did you see it, Joe?
No.
Oh, it was great. I didn't bother doing anything with it because what are you going to say about it? But
a lot, apparently.
Oh, shush.
MMIW, G2S, LGBTQIA+.
When you have that memory.
Here's another story I didn't bother doing because I thought, what do you do with it? And it's one of those ones you hear, you read, and you're like, what the hell? I told Joe today, he's like, you're in such a sour mood. I didn't want to bring it up and do the show, but you should call her my friend Kev, who's from Great Britain. I've explained this. Okay. An 18-year-old boy in his first year of college is walking home from a night out with friends. Suddenly, a man approaches him, unprovoked, runs him through with a large knife. When the police arrive, the attacker claims the victim, who is now writhing on the ground with a 3-inch deep stab wound into one of his lungs, who's now drowning in his own blood. The attacker says, he called me a racial slur. Hearing this of racial abuse, the police officers proceed to arrest the 18-year-old boy lying on the ground. They handcuff him while he slips in and out of consciousness. I thought this has got to be and then you woke up from a bad dream. The scene is straight out of a horror depiction of a society with, and then it goes on. Yeah, this happened in England. Anyway, they try to save the kid's life, and he ends up dying in a helicopter on his way to the hospital.
Yeah, but was he racist?
But no, the kid was saying he didn't say anything, and that people didn't hear anything. But apparently, the guy that ran him in with an 8-inch knife. That said, well, he called me a name, but to arrest, he's laying there on the ground, his blood's pouring out of his side, and they put handcuffs on him. Well, the guy that has the knife is standing there, dripping with the kid's blood. So the reason I didn't do this story, because what do you say? What do you do? That's crazy. You get all outraged. So,
it's bad over there.
It's bad over there. Thanks, Joe. There you go. That sums it up. Okay. Yeah. Yesterday, Joe announced that if Tom Massey from Kentucky didn't win, you were going to become radicalized. We won't go into the specifics of how we see that happening. But he didn't win. About $30 million altogether, $28 million, the most amount of money spent on any primary. And the money came, a lot of it, primarily from Israel, which makes people go, what? Why would Israel care about a race in Kentucky? That's the thing that people are still scratching their head about. Massey ends up losing, and the number of votes now being counted up. I haven't been able to verify this, but somebody has come up with 100.3% of votes tallied. So apparently now people think, well, that's weird. They get they get extra ballots in there.
An 100% increase in voter turnout.
Okay.
For Massey, who's been in Kentucky for 14 years.
Yeah.
There was a 100% increase in votes in people voting for him turning out, and there was a 350% increase in voters for his opponent.
And people are still saying, why does Israel why are they spending the money? Like Massey, you could say, well, Massey was saying, listen, we don't, and he's been saying this for a while. Why are we sending money to Israel? Let's stop sending money to Israel. He's been saying that. But other people are like, Massey was also the guy that was saying, hey, we want to see all of the Epstein files. It was Massey that was asking for the transparency and holding the president and anybody else responsible for the full release. Show us everything you know.
And he never accused Trump of anything. He just said if somebody is a co-conspirator with Jeffrey Epstein, we want their names and we want them prosecuted.
Here's what he said about Iran.
Why are we going to war with Iran? I think the most candid answer came from the Secretary of State, who told the press that Israel forced our hand and dragged us into this war. Again, and American families in my district want to know how this is going to help them pay for groceries. How does this make them any safer in their schools or in their neighborhoods? How does this help them pay for housing? Have we learned nothing from the laundry list of wars and regime change experiments we sparked across the Middle East that have racked up a total of at least $8 trillion of debt in Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan? A sustained war with Iran will not stabilize the region. It's already ignited the region. It will radicalize new generations of terrorists, and it will send more swarms of refugees into Europe and the United States. Iran is not Venezuela. The Ayatollah was not a president. He was a religious leader. And the United States and Israel turned him into a martyr. And in the process of doing so, we've already expended billions of dollars, and more solemnly, 6 American families must now lay to rest their sons and daughters. And for what?
I will say that Iran is the number one exporter of terrorism throughout the Middle East. That is true. Do we need to be in there? Massey was the guy holding the president accountable to no more wars. We don't need to be in there. And even the president, when he was running in 2015 at the time, was saying, we need to stop spending money to Israel. Even Trump was saying that. And then Trump kind of flipped around in 2019. All right. Ben Massey makes a joke at his concession speech. He says,
I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrine in Tel Aviv.
Wow. All right, so he's out, Joe. One last one. Here's from the president.
The donors, the special interests, the lobbyists have very strong power over these people.
This is in 2015, right? Yeah.
They have a lot of control over our politicians. And I don't say that favorably.
This is our first Jewish president. We thank you for everything.
That's Mark Levin.
You're not going to support me, even though you know I'm the best thing that could ever happen to
He's talking, so these are cuts, and then that's Trump saying you're not going to support me even though.
Israel. You're not going to support me because I don't want your money. I love Israel.
And then he's 2017, I love your money.
With you all the way. You will be bigger, better, stronger. And a lot of bad decisions that are being made.
This is 2015.
For the benefit of lobbyists and special interests. You better get rid of the super PACs because they're causing a big problem. We have to get the people.
Now here he is, 2019.
Of our country, of this country, to love Israel more.
Okay. Anyway, Massey's out. Joe's upset because with Massey calling for the United States out of Iran, United States stops giving money to Israel, and also let us know what's happening with Epstein. And you think all of that stuff is interconnected, and it's the fact that they spent all that millions of dollars to get Massey out.
Yeah, it's disappointing because it really illustrates that the only thing that matters in American politics is money. Yeah.
Did you not know that at your age? You didn't think that was the case?
I guess I thought there were exceptions, and if somebody was principled enough, and by the way, he's the most constitutionally aligned member of any part of our government, as conservative as they come. The only marks on his record, according to some people, is that he voted against the Big Beautiful Bill because it had a lot
of garbage in it.
It had a lot of garbage in it, and that's why. And that people accuse him of voting against the SAVE Act, but he actually voted for that. So
He's conservative in the sense that he's more libertarian than Republican. He's more conservative. He simply looks at the Constitution and he says, we're not supposed to be spending money. This is not the power that we have. We don't have the right to do this. Stop making government bigger and bigger and bigger. Somebody at some point needs to be held accountable for this irresponsible spending. It's he and Rand Paul. He wasn't even part of the Freedom Caucus. The 32 guys that were in the Freedom Caucus, he was outside of that caucus. He was like, look, you guys can do that. I want to be outside of politics. I want to be over here and look at what's my job in Congress? Who am I responsible to? And why do we continue to spend the money that we don't have? Who's Massey? He says now, listen, he's in there for a couple more months.
7 more months.
And he said, I'm still going to push hard to try to get the rest of that Epstein stuff out. So, sorry, Joe. Once I saw the money in there, I thought there's no way he's going to win. And the power of Donald Trump. In most cases, if Trump puts his finger on you and wants you out of there, then they're gonna do everything they can to get you out. He did well in Indiana. I think in Texas as well. He has enough power to be able to either you're with him or you're against him, and he just runs you out of town.
Well, you should be sorry for America, not just me.
Who's sorry? Me?
Yeah.
I'm not. Listen, I understand it. I get it. The whole thing is just an absolute gigantic machine, a corruption machine that just churns through money and benefits only the people that are paying the money.
And that's as we approach the 250th anniversary of this country, like isn't that just sad? I mean, that's got to be so far from what our founding fathers hoped.
When you look at the Constitution and you look at the Article 2 and you see the tiny amount of power that they extended to the executive branch because they were so concentrated on making sure that it was the people. Then you could have the argument, the Federalist Papers, and you could talk about the power to the state and power. Their whole focus was, we do not want a king. We don't want somebody to have all of this power. We want everything to be able to a limited amount of power to the federal government, and the rest is going to go to the states, and then each one of the states can have their own way. But it would be every individual would be primarily left alone and not depending upon the government for a variety of bennies and services and all this other stuff. And then once the government started getting going, once we got into the war, and then all of a sudden you start concentrating all the power in Washington, D.C., and then all the lobbyists realize, I can get this and get this and get this, and I just need to go to D.C., and I can just buy this guy and buy that guy. Yeah. Right? And that's what happened. Now, as it kept getting bigger and bigger and more people enjoying all of the fruits of somebody else's labor, this is what you end up with.
It's like Ferguson and the unions, it's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. But there's nothing you can do now. You can't turn it back. You can't break it apart. The structure is in place. You get a libertarian like Rand Paul or his dad or even Chase Oliver, forget about it. Why? Because there's too much money involved. And nobody wants to be the one that goes, well, I'll give up a little bit if you give up a little bit. It just continues to grow because somebody's benefiting from the power that they have, which is money that they can buy, and that's what we end up with. Listen, I don't get upset about it anymore because why? The system's in place. You can't. What are you going to do, Joe?
I don't know. But it seems like the dam breaks at some point, right? I mean, you talk about
here's where the dam breaks. So right now, the 30-year T is at, 5.5%. The inflation's going to continue to go up. That we will, and by 2033 or something, all of a sudden, you're not going to be getting your 100% of your Social Security that you're promised. You're going to get about 70% of it, if that. That the United States at a certain point will reach 120% of GDP. Our debt will be 120% of all the total amount of money generated annually by the people of the United States. And then we're at Greece level. Right now, we're not going to default. We can't go into bankruptcy, but where's the value of our dollar? Because China at this point is collecting more and more gold. We are quietly bringing gold back to the United States because we start to realize China will now begin to trade in rather than petrodollars or U.S. dollars. Right. You're going to start to see trading happening with gold or Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden, our big, powerful U.S. dollar begins to become diminished. Maybe it's third on the list. And we've got all this debt we have to be able to pay off. I'll buy a Treasury year 30-year bill. I'll buy a bond. Let me buy you a 30-year bond, and you're going to pay me 5%, and I'll hold on to that thing. And maybe after a couple of years I decide, well, I'm going to throw it back in. Maybe you pay off at 5%. Maybe I lose money on it. They have to keep offering these bonds in order to have people take these chances. That we are running out of money, and China knows it. Now, they don't want us to run out entirely because they want us to have enough money because they own part of it. But the debt that we have to the American people, they're going to buy our stuff. They basically want us to be their customers. They'll have the store, and everybody else will go buy all their stuff.
And countries are considering. I mean, they're considering switching to the petro yen, right? Which essentially means every country, if they want to buy oil, has to have dollars, right? Because it's the That's why that's
it's the most stable currency,
right?
And everybody trusts them. What?
But if it switches,
well, they're going to start to move to gold. That's what their plan is. I know. Where are they getting the gold from? Africa. What's going to happen? And occasionally I feel bad for my kids, but that's, again, what am I going to do about it? Screaming you on the radio about, the corruption that's happening? And you can't go in there and do anything about it.
Apparently not.
No. You're going to run for Congress and change things? Good luck. Again, I said it once, and how many times? Read Drain the Swamp. And it's not about Donald Trump, Drain the Swamp. 2017, read the book, Drain the Swamp. And after you finish that book, you'll be like, I give up.
It's depressing.
It is depressing. 2017. And he will take you through all of the corruption that it starts at the top and goes all the way down to the bottom. Everybody equally guilty of, just go along to get along.
And by design, the day one, when you get in there, they're like, all right, here's how it works, son. And you essentially have no choice but to either get on board or to quit.
And that's what you end up doing. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. That was refreshing.
That's awesome, guys.
That's really not fun. Yeah. That's so much fun. Start out with the first story. Thank you, Joe. There, I feel great. Here comes Nate.
All right, Home Comfort Alliance has the update. 45 minutes now to travel through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. It's solid from Albro Place to the Ship Canal Bridge. Once you get past this, north of downtown, North 5 slows again from Northgate into Mill Creek. South 5, we're packed from Lake City Way to I-90. Crossing the lake into Seattle, westbound 520, you're bumper-to-bumper mid-span over to I-5. Westbound 90 is slow from the Mercer Tunnel to I-5, but you're at a decent pace here. Northbound 99 remains bumper-to-bumper from East Marginal Way up to South Lake Union. Southbound 99 is pretty much cleared out through downtown. North 405, we're heavy from Kirkland up to into Alderwood. South 405 through Bellevue, bumper-to-bumper from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Then you'll start to slowly thin out, but you're not in the clear till you get into Renton. Speaking of Renton, North 405, it's packed from I-5 and South Center to just before the Maple Valley Highway where a collision was just cleared. And South 5 heading through South Center slows at MLK Junior Way down to 516. Considering a new Lennox cooling system before the summer heat wave? Get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I always like to say, everybody's got a guy. Oh, I got my driveway's all messed up. I got a guy for you. Or I need to do this or that, and I need a good painter. I need somebody to fix this. And, I got a guy. I know a guy. Well, I know a guy when it comes to if you got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, because I had a bad hip. And the guy is Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. In fact, if you talk to some of the athletes around Seattle, they'll tell you they got a guy. You know who it is? It's Dr. Mark Wagner. He's done 20,000 stem cell procedures. He's been in business. He's been in medicine for 30 years, and he is the guy. People that have problems with their knees, if they got bone on bone or their ankle, their shoulder, they can't enjoy playing tennis anymore, even lifting up the grandkids or something because they've got problems with their joints. You know who they go to? The guy, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. The guy to see. He simply takes a look at the MRI. He's got his 20,000 stem cell procedures that he has already done. He knows what he's doing. He can look at that joint and say, you know what? The stem cell could work for you. Want to find out more? It's drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan. Presented by Carter Subaru.
Who doesn't love fish? Fish is great. Fish is delicious. You know what isn't good? Fish passage projects, because they get in the way. 28-mile detours coming for some of our truck drivers who use Highway 3. 16 days of closures. I'll tell you all about it on Thursday on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
90s weekend is coming up as the Mariners take on the D-backs. The fun gets started May 29th with 90s Fireworks Night presented by T-Mobile. Then it's back-to-back giveaways with Julio Rodriguez sleeveless jerseys on May 30th and Ken Griffey Jr. pins on May 31st. Both presented by Key Bank. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Washington. Start treatment and get a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. Check testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, and more. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. The 4-year-old child at the center of an Amber Alert out of Mason County has been found safe. KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horka reports the boy's father is also in custody.
We're trying to figure out charges, possibly a felony charge for eluding police officers, because initially we understand he did take off and leave the child behind. We have a potential assault charge going on as well.
State Patrol says 26-year-old Joshua Moen took off with his son during a supervised visit earlier today in Shelton. Pierce County Sheriff's Office says one of its own has been charged with felony harassment with threats to kill. A family member reported Deputy Edgar Ruiz back in December. Sheriff's Deputy Carly Capetto tells us.
The victim very much felt there was a level of harm coming to this person based off of what that deputy had said.
Ruiz was pulled from patrol in January. He now faces termination. Sheriff's Office calls the alleged conduct unacceptable. The Arlington Police Department says one of its officers has been arrested on allegations involving child pornography. The Allen County Sheriff's Office arrested that officer. He's now been placed on administrative leave as a criminal investigation is underway. Department leaders called the allegations deeply troubling. If you own an electric vehicle, you could soon be paying more to drive it. A new bipartisan bill is moving through Congress. It would add a $130 annual federal fee for EVs, $35 for plug-in hybrids. Washington Congressman Rick Larson is the ranking Democrat on the House Transportation Committee.
It's based on the user pay principle that if you use the roads, you pay into the trust fund in order to do repairs on the roads. That's what the gas tax is about. That's what this fee is about.
And this charge would come on top of the state registration fees for EVs. House committee takes up that bill tomorrow. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's see, 45 minutes to travel through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. We have a hefty backup from Albro Place to the Ship Canal Bridge. Once you clear the bridge, we have more scattered slowing from Northgate into Mill Creek. So South 5, we're starting to improve with almost every report now. It's heavy from Northeast 50th in the U District, I-90. Crossing the lake into Seattle, westbound 520. We're bumper to bumper at mid-span over to I-5. Westbound 90 is solid from the Mercer Tunnel to I-5, but at least you're cruising at a decent pace here. It's just barely moving on 520. So northbound 99 now bumper to bumper at the West Seattle Bridge to South Lake Union. North 405 still heavy from Kirkland to Alderwood. South 405 through Bellevue, you're bumper to bumper at 520. Through Cold Creek Parkway, then you'll start to thin out, but you're not in the clear till you hit the Renton Landing. 35 minutes to clear this entire backup. North 405 is solid from I-5 and South Center into the S-curves. And speaking of South Center, South 5 we're slow from MLK Junior Way down to 516. About 20-25 minutes to get through this backup. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now, looking at a pretty calm evening out there. Come tomorrow, more sunshine and highs in the 70s for Thursday and Friday. Right now, 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Teeny?
Oh my God, Teeny.
She's okay. Teeny, please spin the wheel. She's acting like she's asleep. Okay, there she is. Spin the wheel. Names of all the players are on the board. There they are, going around and round and round. But once you hear that Nate says bumper to bumper, you hear it over and over. Oh, it lands on Nate. Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've got what's called a bumper to bumper omelet.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes, sir. You got a couple eggs on this one.
Ooh. Okay. I'll put down 2.
Yeah, that's right. 2 eggs. Of course, you mix them up because, it's an omelet. And then you put a bunch of good stuff in the middle. Of course, what are we talking about? Green onions, green peppers.
Onions and peppers,
yeah. Scallions, some same thing. And then I like to put the hash browns right in there as well. I like a lot of cheese.
Yes.
And then we're not going to fold it in half. Oh no. We're gonna lay out 2 more.
Hold on. Hey, scratch that. I had it folded in half. Let me scratch it out. You start out. No, hold on.
That's a regular omelet.
I got to get another piece of paper now.
Get another piece of paper. A bumper to bumper omelet. You lay down another fresh patty of egg, cook that up, and put it on top. It's almost like a pancake, really. That's a bumper to bumper egg omelet.
Yum!
Thank you, Nate.
It's in the book.
It is in the book. You think
about your book.
We have like 7 hours of commercials in this show. Right? we have. We've got it down to like 4 minutes an hour of actual news, right?
And then these are supposed to be 3-second spots.
I know.
This hour brought to you by Wilcox Family Farm.
I know.
But what's the fun in that, Joe?
Come on, Joe. We're not here to.
I'm in.
You're not here to inform anybody. We're just here to sell eggs. It was on. Thank you, Teeny. April 3rd, 1936, when he said he was still innocent, but it was too late for the man that was accused of kidnapping the Lindbergh baby, the 20-month-old Lindbergh baby. Well, the case has been reopened again. There's certain cases in history where people are like, I don't know, like the Kennedy case. Does that all make sense?
Nope.
Well, okay, here we go. I got a bumper-to-bumper omelet to throw at you right now. It has been reopened, and the 2 guys that have been working on this thing now have a podcast. they want to get the DNA. They think that's going to be able to prove, because did Bruno make the ladder himself that he used to climb up the back part of the home of the Lindbergh house to get the baby out of there? Why? And was the wood there at his home? Why did he quit his job just before? Why did they find money, about $14,000 that was left in his garage? He said his friend left it there and then left for the country. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, and there's enough of these sort of armchair sleuths to say, look, let's find out if this guy actually did take the Lindbergh baby and then also have the Lindbergh baby die. What happened and when?
On the night of March 1st, 1932, someone climbed through a second-floor window in a remote New Jersey estate and took a baby. Not just any baby, the son of Charles Lindbergh, the most famous man in America at the time. The case of the missing Lindbergh baby captured the attention of America like no crime had before or since. Yes, even more than O.J. Simpson. Charles Lindbergh, the first person to fly solo across the Atlantic, had built this house deep in the woods, specifically because he was hounded by the press. He wanted privacy. He thought nobody could find him and his family out there, but he was wrong. Now, here's what gets me. The family wasn't even supposed to be there that night. This was a weekend retreat. They always left on Mondays. This was a Tuesday, the first Tuesday they had ever spent in that house. It was a last-minute plan. The baby had a cold, and his mother was exhausted.
Yeah, a lot of people think something weird happened with the Lindbergh family on this one. The investigation.
So, how did the kidnapper know that the Lindberghs were there that night? And that's just the beginning of the things about this case that have always seemed strange and still seem strange 90 years later. Because there was only one window in the entire house that couldn't be locked. One warped shutter that no one had gotten around to fixing. And that was the window to the baby's bedroom. And the ladder the kidnapper used was placed directly beneath that window.
Okay, we know
How
all
did the
this.
kidnapper know? Here's a few other things.
Yeah.
The family dog didn't bark. The baby didn't cry. And Charles Lindbergh, sitting directly below the nursery, heard a cracking sound outdoors. And yet he didn't get up to check if everything was okay. The state police, charged with the task of finding the kidnapper, had never investigated a major crime before. Their leader basically...
Okay, would you be interested in this podcast?
Yeah, I know nothing about the case, but so far I'm in.
A German immigrant named Bruno Richard Hauptmann was eventually arrested, tried, and executed for the crime. But the case against him was full of holes. And the idea that one man pulled this off by himself, climbed that ladder in the dark, crawled into that room, carried a baby out without a sound, dragged a heavy ladder 75 feet across the grounds with a baby under his arm, it just doesn't make sense.
I am absolutely innocent of the crime, murder.
My producer, Poppy Damon, and I...
Poppy's good. He's good people.
Yeah?
PD, we call him. The Popster. Papa Lou.
Pops.
Papa Doo-Doo. He's good people.
Visited the house where it all happened. We stood under that very window. We did sound tests. We looked at the...
I could do without the boom, 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 boom.
That's what you sent me.
distance from the crib to the window. All we could do was shake our heads. We also went to Bruno Hauptmann's house. We went to a cemetery where a $50,000 ransom was handed over. And leaving no stone unturned, we went to look at the ladder, too. It's safe to say Poppy and I became...
That's what Poppy does, though. Poppy'd say, let's go to the ladder. People are like, really? Poppy'd say, come on.
Classic Poppy.
Gotta love that about that guy.
I'm obsessed, which is exactly what happens to everyone who starts digging into what was then called the crime of the century.
Boom, boom. Okay.
They said that the lead investigator, too, was such a fan of Lindbergh.
Yeah.
And Lindbergh told him, you're not allowed to interview any of my housekeepers or anybody that works on this property. And he's like, okay.
And just let him fly?
Yeah, he was basically dictating how their investigation went.
Here's what Bruno said. These are his last statements. I'm glad that my life in this world, which has not understood me has ended. Soon I'll be at home with my Lord, so I am dying an innocent man.
They executed him, right?
Yes. Yeah. Should, however, my death serve for the purpose of abolishing capital punishment, such as punishment being arrived at only by circumstantial evidence, I feel that my death has not been in vain. I am at peace with God. I protest my innocence of the life of crime for which I am convicted. However, I die with no malice or hatred in my heart. The love of Christ has filled my soul, and I am happy in him. He asked for the governor, or your excellence, I guess, the governor, to, at the end, I beg you, governor, please, at least as a dying man, please investigate, because the case is not solvent. It only adds another death to the Lindbergh case. And then he asked him to look into the case, and he didn't, and that was on the 31st of March, 1936. And he was executed on the 3rd of April, 1936.
Wasn't Hotman also, wasn't he, what's the word, on the spectrum?
I don't,
you never heard that? Okay.
I never heard that. But okay. But okay, we're adding that to the mix.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yes.
Rabbit hole just got deeper.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Whatever happened to the John Bonet case?
Nothing. They haven't charged him.
Here comes Joe. Look out. All right, here comes Nate first. Here comes Nathan.
All
Nathan.
right. Yes, sir. 45 minutes to get through downtown Seattle on North 5. You got a solid backup from Albro to the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 heavy from about 45th to I-90. Northbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from the West Seattle Bridge to South Lake Union. Southbound 99 is all clear through downtown. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. 405, we're still heavy from Kirkland to Alderwood. Seattle to Everett is down to 40. Scattered backups from Northgate into Mill Creek. South 405 through Bellevue, we're bumper to bumper from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, and then you'll thin out all the way down into Renton. 35 minutes to get through this backup. South 5 heading into South Center slows at MLK Junior Way to 516. 20 minutes through this, and Renton to Puyallup on the 167 has improved to 35 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'll tell you, I know what it is like when you watch the hair begin to thin and the crown disappears, and then that hair loss just robs you of your identity. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair has got a simple one-day treatment. And they regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. Because if you notice that your hair's going away and it's not coming back, for me, I was asking my barber, but what do you think? Hey, getting a little bigger. You're going bald. I was like, yikes. So do what I did. You set up a free consultation, get $250 off, $250 free hair graft by calling 425-449-8185. And why wait? Don't wait, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year 2 years in a row. Congratulations to Advanced Hair. They're waiting for you there. What you should do is take a look at Advanced Hair online, look at the before and after pictures. You'll be amazed. Give them a call at 425-449-8185. That's advancedhair.com.
The G and Ursula Show.
Prices in the Seattle area jumped nearly 5% in April.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Well above the national inflation rate of 3.8%. So, in other words, we're paying more than much of the rest of America is right now.
It feels like a treadmill that continues to get faster and faster and faster. But somebody keeps speeding it up and increasing the incline.
G and Ursula. Watch live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Drs. Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar this Thursday at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, how much does RLE cost? Is financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE? These questions and lots more will be covered this Thursday at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Plus, no more cataracts. Don't miss the free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to GoodRx.com/weight loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack and a $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right. Hudson, why don't you sing a quick song? Just a quick little version of it. Just get the people in there up off the seats.
Are you Hudson here?
Like at a wedding. Yeah, Hudson. Here we go.
Okay. Oh, don't.
There we go. Thank you. Oh, we didn't have time for that. We're going to do the regular mailman on Friday. Okay, here we go. Letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Ivan in Edmonds says, I want to party with Nate. Woohoo. Also, you guys should have more barking dog segments.
Yes. Kendall360 says, if you finish early tomorrow, please come back and do the show. The replacement hosts are, they should have Joe be the replacement host. Oof. He's the only one that can live up to John Curley's standards. Oh, I didn't know we had standards.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Okay.
425 says, I need you every day, Curly John. I'm distraught if I don't hear your voice.
Oh, well, thank you, 425. Fernando in Seattle says, if John had an American AI instead of a British AI, maybe you would have gotten an answer about Wilson. Did I not? Is it a British AI talking?
Accent.
Okay, thank you.
Mike in Portland says, I've never met a Cybertruck owner that wasn't single. You started.
B in Puyallup says, 18 Mariners played in the WBC during the offseason. They should have rested and focused on the team.
Elliot in Seattle says, Joe Mama, I downloaded Suno to make a 15 to 20 second Joe's Hole intro. It cranked out a 3-minute banger.
We'll look forward to that. Steve in the 425, as the kids back in the 70s used to say yes, and I used to mix a little mayonnaise on Miracle Whip into it. What the hell is he talking about?
He's talking about your
put
canned...
diced up pickles or onions, either one of them. It's pretty tasty.
Deviled ham.
Deviled ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Erica M on not using gendered language drop. Good Lord. I guess if that guy doesn't want any gendered language, they won't be able to use Spanish or the dozens of other languages that use...
Katie in Tacoma. John Curley Show, your one-stop shop for news, entertainment, and commercials.
Robin Bremerton says, haven't you guys heard? Erica Kirk is actually JonBenet Ramsey. Look it up.
Oh, my God.
Let me get this one. Rihanna in Arlington says, I understand, this is on Massey and the State of Our Union. I understand lobbies, but for the biggest one to be foreign, that's insane.
Andrew in the 509 says Massey is a D-bag.
Why? That's all I want to know. Dwayne QFC, what you're
I think if you got really drunk, I could see you punching Andrew in the 509.
No, I love Andrew in the 509.
No, but I could see you, well, maybe not him, but going toe-to-toe to somebody else if they start talking about Massey. No, you could.
Maybe. Dwayne from QFC says, what you're talking about is when it'll start to get fixed when gunpowder and fresh water is worth more than money.
Thomas in North Bend. I feel your angst, pain, and bewilderment, Joe. What about mine, Tom, in North Bend? What about my pain and bewilderment?
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
It's all about Joe.
No, you're just hiding it.
Ever since Joe broke out his hole, everybody's like, oh, I love you.
It's not true. Not everyone. Tara in Mill Creek. This is on taxpayer lunches.
Yes.
I volunteer regularly at my kids' elementary school in the Everett School District, and honestly, our district seems to be able to handle it pretty well. Kids use a student ID numbers to purchase breakfast or lunch, so there's no public stigma as only cafeteria staff can view their accounts, and I've never seen kids denied meals. Instead of creating another expensive statewide program, maybe Washington should study and replicate the operation policies like Everett's already used and use that to improve access without expanding taxes our government programs use unnecessarily.
And the final word from me was, I said, if you can't afford to feed the kid, then the state steps in. But if you can, the state doesn't need your money.
That's all she
wrote. Saying. People didn't quite get all that.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Very confusing.
Apparently so. All right. Nate, you do some traffic?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Global Credit Union has the update. 45 minutes through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. It is solid from Albro up across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 heavy from Ravenna at I-90. Northbound 99 now packed from Soto, closer to the stadiums, really, up to South Lake Union. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. Seattle to Everett, we're down to just 35. Just a little slowing through Northgate. You'll clear out in Shoreline, and then a little more slowing through Linwood into Mill Creek. South 405 through Bellevue, slow from 520 to the Renton Landing. Really thick till you get through Factoria. 35 minutes to get through this. And North 405 down in South Center slows from I-5 up in through the Renton S-curves. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Naturalists from Puget Sound Express report that it's officially humpback whale season in the Salish Sea. Humpbacks were absent from our waters for nearly 100 years due to whaling. In 1997, a female humpback returned, and in 2003, she brought a calf with her, which is when she earned the name Big Mama. She has kept returning along with 8 known calves, 7 grand calves, and 4 great grand calves, and she's back this year as well. Each summer, dozens of other humpbacks return. It's become known as the Humpback Comeback. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds, Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this. What if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the